comentario debe estar en la lista para hablar. Para ser agregado a la lista puede usar su nombre, un seudónimo o los últimos 4 dígitos de su número telefónico. Asegúrese de que el nombre o el número coincida con el nombre o el número telefónico que utiliza para dirigirse a la Junta para que se pueda habilitar su micrófono. Información requerida: su nombre o seudónimo o los últimos 4 dígitos de su número telefónico. Los últimos 4 dígitos de su número telefónico si llama por teléfono. Número de la agenda o nombre del caso sobre el que desea comentar y si va a hablar a favor o en contra del caso. Para ser agregado a la lista por correo electrónico, envíe una tarjeta para hablar o un correo electrónico con la información requerida a bph.speakercards@cdcr.ca.gov. La tarjeta está en el sitio web de la Junta en cdcr.ca.gov/BPH. Para ser agregado a la lista para hablar por teléfono, llame.
Good morning. Moderator, are we ready to begin?
We are, sir.
Excellent. Commissioner Infante, are we ready?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Scott Wyckoff, Executive Officer for the Board of Parole Hearings. Thank you for being with us today, and welcome to the Board of Parole Hearings monthly Executive Board meeting. We are hosting this meeting in person and by video and telephone using Microsoft Teams. We have a temporary configuration for audio-video in our boardroom, and due to the sensitivity of the microphones set up around the room, those attending in person are asked to be as quiet as possible, so ambient sounds and conversations will not be transmitted online. We have a majority of commissioners in person for this meeting, as required by the law. For those participating in video, if you experience connectivity issues during the meeting, we have found that turning off your camera may help you see and hear those who are speaking, and help us to hear you when you are speaking. If you wish to speak today, you must let us know and be added to the speaker list. You can submit a speaker card available on the board's website under the tab called Board Meetings and the link called Meeting Agendas. Alternatively, you can call 916-267-0857 and provide your information and the case or item you would like to speak on. You can find additional documents with helpful instructions and tips for participating in today's meeting on the board's website. Just go to the tab at the top called Board Meetings and select the link for Meeting Agendas. There is also a helpline available during the meeting if you are experiencing difficulties. Please call 916-445-4072. The phone number is also on the first page of today's agenda and the agenda page of the board's website. If no one immediately answers your call, please leave a message and someone will return your call as quickly as possible. Most commissioners and board staff use computers to take notes and see the video feed during the meeting, so please do not be concerned if a commissioner is looking at their computer while someone is speaking. Please be respectful and refrain from engaging in disruptive behavior, or you may be removed from the meeting. The Penal Code provides that it is unlawful to disrupt or break up this meeting, and people who are disruptive may be removed from the meeting. In providing your statements today, please be mindful that you should note your support or opposition without addressing or rebutting comments made by the other speakers. Because the parole process is not adversarial, all comments should be directed to the en banc panel. Please note that some speakers may include explicit crime details in their statements during this meeting. This could trigger strong reactions or be difficult to hear for some, and is not appropriate for children. Written statements may be submitted to the email address on the agenda, and written statements are considered the same as oral comments. All comments are limited to 2 minutes per speaker. We ask that you please be respectful of the time limits. Also, if you timely submitted a written statement to the board, the commissioners will consider it. For this reason, you are encouraged to reference your written statement and use your time today to provide additional information as needed. Once the board has heard comments on each case on the agenda, the board will go into closed session to deliberate and vote on each case. Board staff will post the decisions for today's cases within 24 hours in the lobby on the ground floor of the board's office at 1515 K Street, Sacramento, and on the board's website. I will now turn this meeting over to Commissioner Infante.
Thank you, Executive Officer Wyckoff. Good morning. Today's date is April the 21st, 2026. The Board of Parole Hearings Executive Board meeting is now reconvened. I will now call roll for the commissioners participating in public comment, deliberations, and voting on the cases on today's agenda. Chairperson is present. Commissioner Barton? Present. Commissioner Garland?
Present.
Commissioner Long?
Present.
Commissioner Muniz?
Present.
Commissioner Purcell?
Present.
Commissioner Ruff?
Present.
Commissioner Sharif?
Present.
Commissioner Sheffield?
Present.
Commissioner Tyra?
Present.
Commissioner Thornton? Commissioner Weiss?
Here.
Please note for the minutes that the majority of the commissioners currently appointed are present in person at 1515 K Street in Sacramento. We will now hear comments regarding cases on today's agenda. If you wish to speak today, you must sign up on our speaker list. A speaker card is available on the board's website under the tab Board Meetings and the link Meeting Agendas. Alternatively, you can call 916-267-0857 and provide your information and the case you would like to speak on. If the case you want to speak on has already passed, you will have another opportunity to speak at the end of the meeting. For each case, first, we will take comments from those in support of the incarcerated person. Then we will take comments from those in opposition to the incarcerated person. We will call on people by either the name provided or the last digits of their telephone number. We will enable the person's microphone so they can unmute and provide their comment. Your 2 minutes will begin when you start to speak. Comments are limited to 2 minutes. There is no rebuttal. If you are speaking, please eliminate any background noise. The first case is Veronica Real Aparicio, number X22591, item 33. Moderator, will you please call speakers in support?
Thank you, Chairperson. I have a single speaker in support, in person. It just says Veronica Real Aparicio.
Thank you.
Should I press this?
Yes, thank you.
Good morning. Sorry, this is a little intimidating. I'd like to start by introducing myself. My name is Veronica Real Aparicio. I'm a wife, mother, and grandmother. I'm very proud. My family is my core and is at the center of everything that I do. I respectfully come before to request your consideration in support of my application for pardon. I take full responsibility for my past actions and deeply regret the choices that have led me here today. Since that time, I have made a sincere and lasting commitment to change my life and become a positive, contributing member of my community. I am proud to say that I have lived drug-free and have had no legal issues since that time of my life, and have remained committed to living a lawful and responsible life. For the past 16 years, I have maintained the same steady employment, or dedicating my work to serving my community. In my role, I have supported individuals and families and worked to make a meaningful difference in others' lives. I'm actively involved throughout the county and serve on several community and county boards where I strive to contribute to positive change and community development. I strongly support law enforcement and the role they play in maintaining safety and accountability within our communities. I have also dedicated time to helping individuals struggling with addiction by connecting them with resources, guidance, and support to help them rebuild their lives. This work is deeply personal to me, as I understand how important second chances can be. I have served as a peer parent on the Lake County Children's Council, the Tribal Youth Education Collaboration Committee, SafeRx Coalition, and Resilient Lake County. I volunteer for numerous events such as the annual Shop with the Cop and the Boys and Girls Club. I coach youth softball. I'm a club parent for 4-H, serve on the Suicide Task Force, and serve on the Board of Directors for Lake County Tribal Health Consortium. Above all, I've worked
Your 2 minutes have
hard to be a
elapsed.
positive
Please
role model.
conclude your statement.
to be a positive role model, demonstrating integrity, responsibility, and compassion in both my personal and professional life. I humbly ask the board to consider the person I have become over the past 2 decades rather than for my past mistakes. A pardon would allow me to continue serving my community without limitations of my record and would represent an opportunity for full restoration of a law-abiding citizen. I thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Veronica Real Aparicio. Oh, it seems like the boardroom has been muted. We cannot hear the boardroom at this time. Now we can. Perfect.
Moderator, you can hear us?
Yes, we can.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Veronica Real Aparicio.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speakers signed up for opposition for Veronica Real Aparicio.
Thank you. The next case is Scott Soares, number K62849, item 34. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you. We have one speaker in support for Scott Soares, Scott Allen Soares Sr. If you're with us.
Yes, we have him in person. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Scott Allen Soares Sr., CDCR case 62849. I want to thank the board for the opportunity to speak in support of my pardon consideration. While my application gave a brief overview, it could not fully capture the weight of the 30 years since my conviction. Specifically, the unspoken trauma my path infected on my family, my wife, my children. One of my greatest regrets of being away was my grandmother passed. That loss, the helplessness my family felt, was a turning point. It made me realize my rehabilitation had to start with ensuring my family never suffered from my careless actions again. During my incarceration, I dedicated myself to growth. I was blessed to have received my California State Firefighter 2. It's a professional qualification, and accepted to join the New Directions program. That program spoke with troubled youth using my own case to show them what I would have done differently. As a father of 3, a grandfather of 4, my mission is now to lead by example and break the cycle of trauma. Today, I stand before you as a testament to what the system is designed to do. A second chance and a true transformation. This pardon is more than just a formal forgiveness. It's a vital step for my family and my future. It will allow me to gain my emergency medical technician certification, pursue advanced career opportunities as a current ARF firefighter, and obtain the airport master firefighter position and fire emergency services instructor. These qualifications will help me in the next generation to teach the firefighters. I'm asking for a chance to continue serving my community and providing for the family that stood behind me through the darkest chapters of our lives. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. For those of you who signed up to speak in support of Scott Soares, please raise your hand with the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us to enable your microphone. The first speaker I have via video is Lynn Shaver. Lynn, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute your microphone. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning. My name is Lynn Shaver, and I was a resident of California for pretty much the rest of my whole entire life. I am a wife of a retired police officer of 35 years serving in California. I have 2 beautiful boys. I met Scott over 12 years ago. I have had the privilege of working along with Scott. Also consider him a very good friend. We have worked nonprofits together. I have seen firsthand the compassion that he has for people. I don't know how Scott was in his youth. I do know the man that stands in front of us and the kindness that he gives to others, the respect that he has for first responders, and I'm proud to call him a friend. I'm hoping that these peers would look at him and give him a second chance. I couldn't see a person more deserving of that opportunity. Scott puts family first, loyal to his friends, to this country, to the state. I can probably go on and on for quite a while, but he's a good man. That's really what I have to say. Just somebody that I'm very proud to call a friend. So thank you for your consideration, and thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. The next speaker I have is David Cruz. To unmute yourself via telephone, you press *6. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is David Cruz, and I'm a retired fire battalion chief and acting fire chief in the Los Angeles County arena. I've spent about 40 years of my career serving the community within the Los Angeles County area. What I want to speak to, and I spoke professionally in writing to you, is just Scott personally. And what I've seen in this man, well, for one example, Mike the welder and Mark, just a short story. But we often go up to Paso Robles on deployments, and Mike's got a difficult relationship with his son because he's autistic severely, and he is barely able to speak, and he can get quite anxious at times. And what I've seen is Mark warm up to Scott when we go on those deployments, and Scott extend himself to that family to make Mark part of our team, to dress him out in turnouts, to give him a ride in the fire engine. And quite frankly, when Mike ever has a problem now with his son, he calls Scott. And Scott reminds Mark that he's part of a team, that he's a firefighter, and that he's got to listen to his parents. And sure enough, every single time. And that's the kind of person Scott is. He's willing to put himself out for people. He's extremely generous with his family, completely devoted to his wife. And just the last thing I'd like to say, and I know this is a bit silly, but when I was a kid, I remember watching The Wizard of Oz. And the lion got courage, the scarecrow got brains, and the Tin Man got a heart. And the wizard told him, the true test of a man is not how much he loves, but how much he is loved by others. Scott Alan Soares is loved by his firefighters, he's loved by his friends, and he's loved by his family.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
I can think of no greater testimony for this man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. The next speaker I have is Edward Jensen. Edward Jensen, go ahead and unmute yourself. You can press *6 by phone to unmute yourself. Edward Jensen, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, thank you for my name is Edward Jensen. I am a 27-year state service employee.
Mr. Jensen, it's rather difficult to hear you, Mr. Jensen.
Yeah. You're having trouble hearing me?
Well, we can hear you now.
Okay. My name is Edward Jensen.
I'm sorry, he's been muted for some reason. Hold on one moment while we get him back. I will pause the time. Go ahead, sir. Hit *6 again. Somehow we muted your microphone. I don't know how that happened, but go ahead and hit *6 one more time. If you're speaking, sir, we cannot hear you. You might have to hit *6 one more time.
Moderator,
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Go
Okay. Sorry about the phone problems. My name is Edward Jensen. I have 27 years in the state service. I retired as a fire chief for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. I have also worked 9 years with CAL FIRE as a crew captain. So the whole 27 years of my employment, I worked with incarcerated people. Currently, I am the fire chief at the California Office of Protective Services as a retired annuitant. I'm a battalion chief with Speedway Fire. I'm a firefighter with Mission Aviation, and I am a battalion chief with Murphy's Fire Protection District. I also serve on the Federal Incident Command Team 6. I've known Scott for 7 years. I have worked with him as a colleague on fires and work locations. I worked with him in a volunteer capacity at Balloon and Wine. We are friends. Our families know each other. I know Scott to be a caring, hardworking, moral, just, and law-abiding person. I believe Scott has transformed his life and is a mentor and an example to others. He has my strongest recommendations to grant him a pardon. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, sir. Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of Scott Soares.
Thank you, moderator. We'll now take speakers in opposition to Scott Soares.
Thank you. We have, for those who signed up to speak in opposition to Scott Soares, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. That will help us to enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Kevin Jeffries. Kevin Jeffries, go ahead and unmute your phone by pressing *6. And your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning, honorable commissioners. Also, thank you for your service. I am not speaking in opposition. I was signed up in advance a week ago to speak in support. I'm wondering if I can still speak.
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Once again, my name is Kevin Jeffries. I am a former member of the California State Legislature, a retired county supervisor, and I am speaking in support of Mr. Soares this morning. I have known Scott since he was a young man many years ago. At the time, he lacked guidance, direction, and structure. I watched as he joined the local volunteer fire department as a new recruit and found his love for the fire service and the service of others. He became a married man, a family man, and a working man, all while dedicating his spare time and training and responding to thousands of emergencies with a local and promoting to an engine company officer with the local fire department. He continues to be involved in local nonprofit activities. He has matured, he has straightened out his life, and he is not that young man that made mistakes many decades ago. As a former elected official and a very old friend of Scott's, I have no hesitation or reservation recommending to this commission a full pardon for Mr. Soares. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. The one person that we do have then in opposition is Linda Dunn. I see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Actually, I'm not in opposition. On my speaker card, I indicated neutral as our position, and that is our position. We think it's important to let you know that when we learn that an individual has no longer been involved in crime and appears to have been rehabilitated, we don't have a reason to oppose. I checked Mr. Soares' criminal record. He has had no arrests or convictions since he went to jail, to prison in 1997, and his crimes appear to be nonviolent and drug related, It appears to us that he has not been arrested since, and based on what I've heard this morning, we think that the board should do the right thing and understand that just because we have DA behind our name does not mean we're automatically opposed, and we're not. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers for Scott Soares.
The next case is Jerry Davenport, number C71246, item 35. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. For those who have signed up to speak in support of Jerry Davenport, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Deborah Davenport. By phone, go ahead and press *6 to unmute your phone, and your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. Go ahead, ma'am. I see you're unmuted.
Okay, hi. Good morning. My name is Deborah Davenport. I'm in the health field, been in it for 32 years. I'm speaking on his behalf because I feel how he has did the time, has served his sentence, and he's very missed out here with his family, and his family is his support team. We've been married for 37 years. It's been hard on us both or whatever, but he has been a good change man, never got in trouble. He's always humbled himself. He's a family person. He's a very dedicated, loyal person, and also a good friend. He's very known in the high, with respect in there, and we just need him to come home. And if it's in you guys' heart to allow that to pardon him, and I would really appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of Jerry Davenport.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Jerry Davenport.
I apologize. There's one more that has just appeared. I apologize, sir. We have a Sharon Davenport. Sharon, if you're with us, it's being added as we speak in the speaker card list, sir, so I'm not quite sure she is joining us by phone. Are we able to enable her microphone? Excuse me, sir. Yes, we see her in the list. Allowing your microphone. Sharon, go ahead and hit *6 on your phone to unmute yourself. We've enabled your microphone. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, I'm Jerry Davenport's sister. And I was just, Jerry been gone so long, and he has changed. I watch him change. I'm his supporter. I make sure I get up there to visit him when I can. I'm his main supporter. And Jerry has changed his whole life around. If you knew him like I do, and I'm his oldest sister, not the oldest, but next to him. And when he come home, if he comes home, I'm his supporter. He has somewhere to stay, and I got him while he in there, and I'm gonna have him when he get here. So my children hasn't even met my brother, and then my grandbabies, and Jerry, if you knew him, he changed all the way. He's calm. He don't get into trouble. And so I just pray. My mom, before she passed, used to always say, my son coming home one day. And I pray that he gets home to his family. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of Jerry Davenport.
Thank you, moderator. We'll move to speakers in opposition to Jerry Davenport.
Thank you, Chairperson. There are no speakers signed up to speak in opposition to Jerry Davenport.
The next case is James Durbin, number V80734, item 36. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speakers signed up in support of James Durbin.
We will now take speakers in opposition to James Durbin.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have one, Michael Milano from LA County. Michael, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Thank you very much. Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office would oppose a commutation in this particular case for Mr. Durbin. Back in March 20th, 2025, our office wrote a letter to the governor opposing commutation that laid out all the very horrific and callous facts concerning the underlying life crime. And it's our position that the sentence that was afforded Mr. Durbin was appropriate and is not disproportionate to his crime given the offense's severity. The seriousness and manner in which the crime was carried out demonstrates that he poses an unreasonable risk to public safety. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for James Durbin.
The next case is Brooke Rowland, number F32326, item 37. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you. For those who signed up to speak in support of Brooke Rowland, please raise your hand in the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Mark Rowland. Mark, if you're with us, go ahead and press *6 to unmute your phone. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. *6, perfect. Go ahead. We can see you're unmuted. Go ahead. Mark, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Hello? Oh, you have muted yourself again. Go ahead and hit *6. Perfect. Go ahead and try speaking. You may have to leave the meeting and come back in, perhaps. We can try circling back to Mark Rowland at the end, if you would like to, Chairperson.
Yes.
Okay.
You can move to the next person in support.
Absolutely. Mark, are you with us? Okay. At this time, we have no more speakers in support of Brooke Rowland.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Brooke Rowland.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have one signed up, John Cross from San Diego County. John, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning. This is Deputy District Attorney John Cross of the County of San Diego. The grant of parole to Brooke Rowland is an improvident grant of parole that must be vacated and set for a new hearing. The inmate is still an unreasonable risk to society. From 1999 to 2001, the inmate sexually molested his own 2 biological daughters and 3 of their friends. All the girls were between ages 5 and 8. He groomed them to be comfortable naked around him and with him touching their naked bodies. He digitally penetrated their vaginas, touched their naked bodies, had them body paint themselves and each other while naked, swapped daughters with the co-defendant to sexually molest each other's daughters, took pictures and swapped photos online with men all over the world. They were involved in an international child pornography ring. Law enforcement rescued 106 girls worldwide, at the time the largest sex ring. The victim, Jay, the inmate's biological daughter, became a drug addict due to the abuse. She's now clean and sober, fortunately. A quote from her letter: "You hurt me, Brooke. More than anyone else in this whole world has hurt me, and I barely know you. You were my father, and you were supposed to protect me. end quote. In the 2024 CRA, he was still a moderate risk of future violence. His victims aren't in prison. He normalized his sexual victimization, justified it, and minimized it. He was vindictive towards his wife. That was one of the reasons for the abuse. He said, quote, I felt like I was within tolerance because it was not intercourse, end quote, on page 11 of the CRA. And he said he did not believe he was, quote, crossing a line too much, end quote, on page 11 of the CRA. Very troubling quotes from a man who's done such horrific things. He also said he was recently sexually excited by a news article on his tablet with a female child lying on her back with her legs spread. So it shows he still is attracted to prepubescent females and has not gotten those urges under control. He does not understand why he molested the victims. In the end, this was an improvident grant of parole, and it should be vacated and set for a new hearing.
Please conclude
Thank
your
you.
statement. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Brooke Rowland.
The next case
We
is
can,
Israel Seha.
Mr. Chairman, I did hear that Mark Rowland has chosen to submit a letter instead.
Thank you, moderator. The next case is Israel Seha, number P99514, item 38. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speakers signed up in support of Israel Seha.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Israel Seha.
Thank you. I have one speaker signed up in person, David Wilson.
Good morning. My name is David Wilson. I'm an Assistant Chief Deputy District Attorney for Yolo County, and I'm here on behalf of the victim. The board is well aware of the many crimes he committed against her, ultimately resulting in her impregnation. He was sentenced originally to 139 years. On her behalf and on behalf of my office, we're urging the board to overturn the grant of parole, elder parole that was given to Mr. Seha in January this year. In 2022, prior to his first elder parole hearing, the psychological report reveals that the doctor found he met the criteria for pedophilia. To date, there is nothing, at least in my possession, that shows he engaged in any real treatment for his pedophilia, which is a lifelong condition requiring group and individual therapy, as well as medication. He's done none of that. He blamed or said that he committed these child rapes out of revenge. Prior to his 2022 hearing, he indicated he tried out meditation for a couple of weeks prior to his hearing. He ultimately stipulated to a 3-year denial. When he again went before a doctor, he struggled to give explanations for why he raped this young girl. He knew it was wrong and only admitted to sexual attraction to the victim when the doctor challenged him. That doctor also found that he had a history of arousing fantasies regarding prepubescent girls and still has those fantasies. In the board hearing, he avoided, and it was never pinned down, when was the last time he had them, other than an admission that he still currently fantasizes about prepubescent girls. None of this was considered by the commissioners. There was, in fact, one said that he had no diagnosed disorder. There's 2 doctors that say otherwise. We believe that this grant of elder parole was inappropriate. He is still a public safety threat.
2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Due to his untreated pedophilia. We urge the board to reconsider and vacate the decision.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Israel Seha.
The next case is Carl Rabon, number G60884, item 39. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have speakers neither for support nor opposition signed up for Carl Rabon.
Thank you. The next case is Bruce Davis, number J02069, item 40. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. People who signed up to speak in support of Bruce Davis, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or press *5 on your telephone. This will help us to enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Garrett Lim. Garrett, I see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. I'm a certified law student with the USC Law School Post-Conviction Justice Project. We're legal counsel for Mr. Davis. First, I just wanted to clarify that the 2 rule violations that were part of the en banc referral were in fact counseling only. In the material initially circulated, one was listed as a more serious 115. We received notice after the en banc referral that this was reduced to a counseling only chrono. Second, I wanted to provide some context for what occurred here, particularly with the second counseling chrono. Mr. Davis had safety concerns in San Bernardino County, and shortly before the RVR, he was attacked in San Bernardino County Jail when he was transferred there on an unrelated court matter. This was after the parole grant. At his parole hearing, the panel acknowledged his request to be paroled outside of San Bernardino, and that's where he had his transitional housing plan. So where the RVR indicates him asking the officer if he can violate him, after he learns he's being sent to San Bernardino County, Mr. Davis is trying to avoid being released there because of safety concerns. His intent was not to harm or break the rules. He in fact complied with the officers throughout the incident as noted in the report. Additionally, we recently learned that Mr. Davis was rushed to a hospital in mid-March for extreme pain near and around his groin area. Medical staff found concerns there, and Mr. Davis is working through that. He has further tests scheduled for tomorrow. None of this is intended to excuse these counseling chronos, but I hope it provides some additional context. Mr. Davis will have more to say at a rescission hearing if ordered. Thank you.
Sorry, thank you. The next speaker I have is for Sylvia Delgado. I believe you're joining by phone. Please press *6 to unmute yourself. Sylvia, if you're speaking, oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Good morning to the members of the Executive Board of Physicians. First of all, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on supporting Mr. Davis. My friendship with Mr. Davis began in December of 2000. Like many of us who had the opportunity to grow up with him, I truly know him beyond his immediate family. I have seen many sides of who he is from the very beginning, and never imagined the path that his life was taken. The criticisms that he has, or circumstances that he would face while incarcerated. Like many of us, we have our moments where he's struggled. There were times where he was hard-headed, and at times he said that he was ready for change, but quite wasn't there yet. But what matters the most is not who he was then, but who he has become now. Over time, Mr. Davis come to understand that there's a higher purpose of life, and his past actions will not lead him to his freedom. The only real chance change will. Today, I can honestly say I have witnessed that change. I'm proud of the work that he has put into himself. He truly understands accountability, remorse, and the weight of the pain that his actions have caused. In many cases, when we are the victim of the family affected by the crime, we want justice and understandability. So, but we also have to recognize living every single day with the knowledge of his causing pain is a punishment on its own. A person's mind is their own greatest burden. To take responsibility and feel genuine remorse, to find the strength to change.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
And I would like to say thank you. After 33 years, I am here to support Mr. Davis. So once again, thank you very much for letting me speak.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Bruce Davis.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Bruce Davis.
Thank you, Chairperson. There's one from Rebecca Hines for San Bernardino County. Go ahead, Rebecca. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Rebecca Hines, Deputy DA from San Bernardino County. The inmate has a history of fighting, stealing cars, theft, carrying weapons, and affiliating with gang members. The inmate was convicted of attempted murder and robbery when he and his crime partner demanded money from 2 victims seated in a car. The victims attempted to flee, but as they did, the passenger was shot in the stomach by the inmate. This case is on today for review as the inmate has garnered 2 new counseling chronos since his last hearing in December 17th of 2025. On February 25th of 2026, the inmate failed to comply by placing obstacles inside his cell, and he received a counseling chrono for that behavior. Then on March 27th on 2026, the inmate became upset about his placement of his parole in San Bernardino and threatened to hit corrections officers once he left the meeting. This was originally a rules violation and, as stated previously, was changed to a counseling chrono. Unfortunately, the inmate losing his temper was the exact same reason he received an RVR on December 19th of 2019, which was later changed to a counseling chrono. Originally, it was a rules violation for threatening staff, later changed to a counseling chrono for disrespect without potential for violence. The inmate, in fact, became angry during his 2019 parole hearing and acted out in anger. He has a pattern of acting out when he received information that he disagrees with. And how can the inmate be prepared for parole to follow the rules and directives of his parole agent when he refuses to follow the rules in prison? The people request the board find the inmate's improvident grant of parole should be set for rescission hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers signed up for Bruce Davis.
The next case is Frank Dominguez, number J05510, item 41. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have no speakers signed up in support of Frank Dominguez.
And now take speakers in opposition to Frank Dominguez.
We have one signed up, Connie Lasky. If you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak, Connie.
Good morning. I am reading this statement for Jill Klinge, Deputy District Attorney for Napa County, who is unavailable today. Mr. Dominguez received a prior grant of parole on February 28th, 2023. It was rescinded due to his mental health decompensation after his grant. He was once again granted parole on December 4th, 2025. At that hearing, Ms. Klinge voiced her concerns that despite a lengthy incarceration and his advanced age, Mr. Dominguez was not ready for parole due to his ongoing mental health issues. In her opinion, there was a very strong risk that he would mentally decompensate without the structured support he receives in custody and would become a danger to society and himself. In that hearing on page 88, Commissioner Snyder stated Dominguez was off all psych meds. On page 97, Dominguez stated that if he was told he needed to take medications, he would. The April 1st, 2026 MHMD progress note said that since his latest grant, staff had noticed a change in attitude. He doesn't feel he has to follow rules or attend EOP classes. It noted that he was prescribed 3 psych meds at that time, but had inconsistent adherence to medical medications since his grant. This statement is inconsistent with the hearing panel's belief that he was not on any psych meds at the time of his hearing. This case should be referred for a rescission hearing to determine if the new information rises to the level to rescind the grant and if the hearing panel based its decision on incorrect information. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Frank Dominguez.
The next case is Scott Banc, number F38068, item 42. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. Those who signed up to speak in support of Scott Banc, please raise your hand in the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. If you're on video, just unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. If you're on the phone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6. Jill Engel, I see that you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Hello, good morning, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Jill Engel, and I am the wife of Scott Banc. We have been together almost 5 years, and in that time, I have watched a real change in this man. Not just his words, but consistent growth, accountability, and commitment to doing better with his life. I also want to speak about my professional experience. I currently run a homeless shelter, and I work every day with individuals who are involved in the justice system and re-entry process. I understand very clearly how important structure, accountability, and most importantly, consistent support systems are in determining whether someone succeeds or falls back into old patterns. This is why I am respectfully asking that if Scott is granted parole, that he would be considered for transitional living in Sonora, where I live, rather than Sacramento. Sacramento is roughly 2.5 hours away from me, and that distance would significantly limit my ability to provide a consistent support, supervision, and stability that I'm fully prepared to give him. This is not just emotional for me. It is based on what I see every day at work. People succeed when they have stability, close support, and accountability. They struggle when they are isolated or placed far from their strongest support system. My husband is a changed man. He is focused on doing things differently, and I am committed to standing beside him in that process to help him stay on the right path. We have secured a job offer for him, marital counseling, substance abuse.
Your 2 minutes have
treatment.
elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
I respectfully ask that you consider his release and placement that allows him the strongest chance for long-term success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have a chairperson. I have no more speakers signed up in support of Scott Banc.
Moderator would now take speakers in opposition to Scott Banc.
Thank you, chairperson. I have David McNeese from San Diego County. David, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes start when you begin to speak.
Good morning. My name is David McNeese. I'm a deputy district attorney in San Diego County. I was the prosecuting attorney for this case. If the board would allow me, I'm going to begin by playing a short message from Annie Neeson, Lily's mom in this case, who unfortunately is very frail and technically challenged, so this is the only way that she can communicate with you. It is very short. Thank you.
Really through my pregnancy and on into the last teenage year, 19 years, was the best part of my entire life. I miss my daughter Lily every day, and every night it sleeps me throughout this long nightmare of knowing when Lily is no longer alive and well, because she was brutally murdered, bludgeoned, and knifed to death by Scott Banc, an angry, callous, cruel, sadistic person who will no doubt kill again, leaving other families with broken hearts when they miss their murdered daughter or son. Keep this Banc in jail for the rest of his life, please.
Thank you. I appreciate the board allowing that. I would like to point out that Mr. Banc in his evaluation was still regarded as a moderate risk. All of his plans, his release plans, are based on the certain factors that he is not taking into account, basically associating with and rejection from women. That is his main issue. That is what he's not addressed, and I don't believe his parole plans address that properly. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Scott Banc.
The next case is Abbas Etisadi, number T87986, item 43. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that, chairperson. We've muted them. Go ahead.
Thank you. We will continue with speakers in support of Abbas Etisadi.
Thank you, Chairperson. People who have signed up to speak in support of Abbas Edasadi, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or press star 5 by telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Naz Edasadi. Naz, if you're joining us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes start when you begin to speak.
Good morning, honorable member of the board. This is Narges Eqtisadi, Abbas Eqtisadi's sister. I have been in contact with and supportive of Abbas throughout his prison term. I want to start by acknowledging the terrible crime my brother committed. I can only imagine how his victims have suffered and continue to suffer. For many years, my brother was in denial. This continued until he had his first parole hearing. After he was denied at the hearing, I saw him make remarkable changes in his life, taking self-help programming, taking full responsibility for his crimes, and demonstrating true remorse. The Road to Freedom group at Soledad was very helpful to Abbas. He became almost unrecognizable in our conversation as he was very focused on taking responsibility and making amends to all people he had hurt, including our family. He talks about his recovery as a lifelong process and something he is deeply committed to, including helping other men turn their life around. I'm proud of the man he has become. I'm able to support him in any way necessarily if he remains in the United States. He also has many family members to support him in Iran if he deported. They would have liked to speak today as well, but unable because of the situation in Iran. No internet, no mail, no phone calls. They are allowed. They did submit support letters for his hearing and renew their support. Again, I feel terrible for Abbas's victims and the trauma I'm sure they live with today. But I have seen his changes and truly believe he's no longer a risk to society.
Your 2 minutes
Thank
have
you for
elapsed.
your
Please
service
conclude your
and
statement.
time. Thank you for your service and your time.
Thank you. The next speaker we have is Joseph Magazzini. Joseph, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Joseph, if you're speaking.
Commissioners. My name is
go
Joseph Magazzini. I had the privilege of representing Mr. Edasadi at his BPH hearing. I want to start out by just reviewing this, or start out by asking anyone reviewing his record to consider when reading the transcript that he did do his hearing in English, which is not his first language, but he was determined to do it in English, and his statements do reflect his limited English. So I would ask anyone reviewing his case to also look at the written documents he prepared, which really show a good understanding of why he committed his crime, of the impact he had on his victims, of the tools he needs to implement to manage his condition moving forward. He did write in detail on what he learned from the Road to Freedom. And he did, as the board recognized this hearing, communicate that pretty effectively, even given his language limitations. I would also ask both his previous transcript and the current transcript, because as I said at his hearing, Mr. Edasadi made one of the most remarkable turnarounds I've ever seen. He really came out of his denial determined to address the concerns the board had raised and turn his life around. And he did that with a great deal of sincerity, a great deal of hard work. He really does understand what his risk factors are, what he needs to do to address them moving forward. I'll point out that the governor didn't really raise any specific concerns. He just asked the board to make a determination as to whether Mr. Edasadi's progress has been sufficient. I would submit that it was. He has incredible insight, incredible remorse. He has very thorough parole plans, great support both in the U.S. and Iran. He does not pose a risk to public safety. I ask the panel to uphold his grant of parole. Thank you.
Thank you. The last speaker is Shapur Gobadi. Shapur, I see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning, honorable members of board. My name is Shapur Kobadi. I'm joining you today from Europe, where I currently reside, because I felt it was vital to speak personally on behalf of Mr. Abbas Iqtisadi. I want to begin by acknowledging the gravity of the crimes committed. We do not ignore the past, nor do we minimize the harm caused. The transformation, however, I have been personally involved in Abbas's life throughout his incarceration. He came out of his first BPH hearing with an unwavering commitment to sincere change and rehabilitation. I was there as he navigated various courses, and we spent many hours discussing the insights he gained. He didn't just complete programs like Road to Freedom or Lighthouse 9, he integrated them into his character. Today, Mr. Iqtisadi is a mentor. He is no longer just working on himself, he is actively helping others find the same path to accountability that he did. This transformation, this transition from a ward of the state to a leader within the facility demonstrates that he is ready to be a productive member of the community. Even though I live in Europe, my commitment to his success is unwavering. I am prepared to support him in any shape or form required, whether that is through financial stability, mentorship, or helping him navigate the professional world. This sense does not diminish the strength of the support system we have built around him. I am confident that Mr. Iqtisadi is a changed man who will honor a second chance with hard work and integrity. I ask that you consider his growth and the life that he worked so hard to rebuild. Thank you for your time and for allowing me to testify today.
Thank you, sir. Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of Abbas Iqtisadi.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Abbas Iqtisadi.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have one Dean Archibald from Sacramento County. Dean, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. As always, your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Dean Archibald. I'm a Deputy District Attorney in the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office. Our office submitted a written or detailed letter of opposition to the grant of parole to Mr. Iqtisadi, who was sentenced to 137 years to life for his violent rapes of 3 young women. Each rape was characterized by sexual sadism. At the 2026 parole hearing, Mr. Iqtisadi lied about the supposed causative factors of his sexual sadism and these rapes. He claimed excessive over-the-top alcohol use and his consumption of violent porn were the reasons that he raped and violated these women. Mr. Iqtisadi told the 2026 parole panel these factors had manifested themselves only shortly before the rapes of the 3 women, causing him to be transformed into a sexual status. He said that he only began watching violent porn 1.5 to 2 months prior to his rapes of these women. That's on page 23, the 2026 parole hearing transcript. That is untrue. By his own admission in the 2022 risk assessment, Mr. Iqtisadi has been engaged in excessive alcohol use and the consumption of rape porn years before the life plunge and while he was in relationship. In the 2022 risk assessment, page 3, he said he viewed pornography, mostly videos, after moving to the U.S. He reported watching all kinds of sexual interactions. He acknowledged he watched pornography depicting rape scenes and noted he found this type of pornography particularly stimulating. He denied his pornography viewing interfered with his relationship. So this is someone who represented that this crime took place after his girlfriend broke up with him. He only then started watching violent porn. That's what drove him to become a sexual sadist. That is a lie. He obviously is someone who has viewed violent porn for years while he was in a relationship. His supposed causative factors are not that at all. They are another excuse for Mr. Iqtisadi, who he was someone who, at the 2022 parole hearing, claimed that he had lost the ability to read, write, and spell.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your sentence, your statement.
And deliberately and intentionally obstructed the opportunities of that panel to do its duties. This is someone whose parole grant should be rescinded. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Chairperson, I have no more speakers for Abbas Iqtisadi.
The next case is David Ng number E43056, item 44. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. Those who signed up to speak in support of David Eng, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Anthony Hardnett. Anthony, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute your phone or video. You can unmute your phone by pressing *6. Your 2 minutes start when you begin to speak.
Hello, board members. My name is Anthony Hardnett. I'm a former lifer. I'm here to support David Eng. I run a group called Committed to Change. That's one of the things that we be working with David Eng. It's a lifer group that support all lifers. I've been out 9 years. I have my own nonprofit. He be working with me on the weekend. We have a job lineup for David Eng. He worked with Lou Hamilton. He's director of Urban Acne, so you can look on records, a job waiting on him for that. And we're here to support David. We take him, get his ID, get his social security card, and keep him on point. Like I said, he be supporting groups. He be working with me. I'm here to support him. And I see the change over the last 6 years that he's been in. I know he sincerely want to get out and do right. I'm here to support him. Like I said, I'm his co-defendant too. I've been out 9 years. I've been clean. And I'm here to support him. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker I have is Michelle Hernandez. Michelle, go ahead and unmute yourself by pressing *6 on your telephone. I see you're unmuted. Go ahead. Go ahead and start speaking. Michelle Hernandez, if you're speaking, I cannot hear you. All right, we will circle back to Michelle. Is Gilbert Hernandez there? I believe at the same telephone number. Gilbert Hernandez, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Okay, they've muted themselves. Hit *6 to unmute. We might have to circle back at the end for them, Chairperson.
Yes, we will. Those all the speakers in support of David Eng?
That is correct. Well, it looks like they're back. Michelle Hernandez, would you like to speak? I can see that you're unmuted. Go ahead. Gilbert Hernandez? Go ahead and speak. Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of David Eng.
We will now take speakers in opposition to David Eng.
Thank you, sir. There is one, Allison Garbutt Macbeth from San Francisco County. I see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Eng's youth and impulsivity may have contributed to the murder at the age of 23. He continued to behave impulsively and with disregard for the consequences well into his 50s, showing that those are enduring character issues and not transient features of youth. Eng has made efforts in programming and rehabilitation, but he has not shown sufficient offender change and continues to minimize his actions and engage in deceitfulness. Eng's parole was revoked after he posted a nude photo and video of an ex-girlfriend without her knowledge or consent to 2 social media sites and several of her friends. The photo also contained her name and current address. She called Eng's parole agent to report that Eng was calling and threatening to post nude photos of her. The agent instructed Ng to cease all contact of any kind with her. Ng posted the nude photo and video the day after his agent called him. And when she went to the police station to file a report, Ng called her in violation of the order not to contact her. But when Ng was interviewed by the clinician for the 2024 CRA, he stated that he didn't think he made any threats and that the agent merely suggested that he stop calling her. He told the clinician that he posted the photos to manipulate his ex-girlfriend and to get most of his things back, which according to Ng in 2019 was 2 lawn chairs. These minimizations show that Ng has not accepted full responsibility and continues to engage in criminal thinking. Ng also stated that he did not know what he did. He did not know that what he did posed a great risk of harm to her until his sponsor told him, which shows lack of awareness and disregard for the consequences. Ng does not have a comprehensive relapse prevention plan for substance abuse or DV and has no list of triggers. His risk is moderate, even considering his age and mobility issues. As the clinician stated, he still lacks emotional control, lacks awareness, and shows evidence of criminal thinking.
Your 2 minutes has elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
He remains an unreasonable risk to public safety. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for David Ng, unless you would like to give one more chance to Michelle and Gilbert Hernandez.
We can give one more opportunity for them.
Okay. I'm allowing their phone now. Gilbert and Michelle Hernandez, go ahead and speak. You each have 2 minutes. We can hear you. Go ahead. Hello? Michelle and Gilbert, if you're speaking, we cannot.
Can you
go
hear me?
ahead. Yes, we can.
Okay. I am so sorry. This phone drives me crazy. But I'm in regards to David Ng. I'm his sponsor, and I've been his sponsor for a long time. For most of his life, he's been involved with us as a family member. I have a plan with David that we have talked about, in that when he comes home, that I'm gonna be in contact with him 2 to 3 times a week, and for his inappropriate moves for when he did do what he did. We're trying to put behind us and trying to just step forward. David is a good man, and he had made mistakes, and we all know that. I've been incarcerated myself for over 17 years, and I am a product now I'm a minister and a pastor in the Church of Victory Outreach, and I help these guys get on their feet, and David is no different than anybody else. I want to try to help him as much as I can with his release. He has good aspects and good care system. Man, I've been trying to get through to this phone call since this morning, but I know that David, he needs a chance. And I know that being a product of the system myself, that it took somebody to take a chance on me and gave me the proper ability to see that my wrongs were my wrongs and my rights are my rights. And you know what? I know that David can do this with the support that he has now. He has a great team. He has a good support system, and I will not let him down. I will not stop from letting him and seeing that he prospers and prospects through these things that have caused him so much disability in itself. David,
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Would Michelle like to speak?
Yes.
Yeah, I've known David since he was young, from his first child. He has a son and a daughter. You know, they're grown adults now, and I feel like he needs a second chance. My husband has 33 years out of prison, so I've walked that prison bondage, knowing as a mom, you know, knowing that wanting your dad, but I really feel will be his family support. He doesn't have much family, you know, so I feel that family support, he does need that second chance.
his mind was young at one time, and I know coming out of prison, you're still that mentality, but it has to change. And it has to change, and we want to be that family and that support to him. We are we're strong in our community, we're strong in our resources. Me and my husband, he ministers, we've been part of Victory Outreach. So we have all the resources he needs, and we're going to lean on him as much as he wants to lean on us. And so we're hoping that you will open your hearts and let him have that chance in life another time. It's a long time to be in there and not have anything to give back your children. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you. And thank you, Chairperson. There are no more speakers for David Ing.
The next case is Alvin Flowers, number T91323, item 45. Moderator, please call for speakers and support.
Thank you, Chairperson. If you signed up to speak in support for Alvin Flowers, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us to enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Nicholas Agbo. Nicholas, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute either by video or by pressing *6 on your telephone. Nicholas Agbo, you can press *6 on your telephone to unmute yourself.
Can you hear
Nicholas, me? Yes, go ahead.
Very good. Good morning, Commissioner. I was the attorney that represented Mr. Flowers during his hearing in which he was granted parole. The governor's letter for this referral was only concerned with his parole plan and his federal prevention plan, and for you to determine whether they are adequate to support his safe release on parole at this time. I believe he is, because Commissioners O'Meara and Deputy Commissioner Newman did a good job in making this determination to show that Mr. Alvin has done a great job in enhancing both his parole plan and his other prevention plan, and is safe to release at this time. I want to incorporate the entirety of the decision in that hearing by reference, but I want to refer you specifically to page 6 and 7, where the presiding commissioner says that Mr. Alvin has made a great effort to address all the scaling risk considerations that were identified in the CRA. It's noteworthy to say that Commissioner O'Meara was the one that presided over the previous hearing where he was denied and told him things to do. And when he came back having done them, it was easy for him to be found stable for parole. The commissioner said, in quote, some of the things that the CRA identified have been addressed by you. And also went forth further to say your parole plans are
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Infinitely amplified. And so we think the selling risk considerations are more than adequately addressed. So based on the comprehensive work
your
of
2 minutes have elapsed.
I urge you to find him suitable for parole. Affirm his grant. I submit.
Thank you. Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Alvin Flowers.
We now take speakers in opposition to Alvin Flowers.
We do not have any speakers signed up for opposition of Alvin Flowers.
The next case is Jose Gomez, number AD 7513, item 46. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have one speaker in support in person, Emily Sanchez.
Thank you. She is approaching the podium.
Hi, my name is Emily Sanchez, and I came here to say that I'm finally at peace with my father's passing.
Ms. Sanchez, could you lower the microphone?
Yes. Hi, my name is Emily Sanchez, and I came here to say that I'm finally at peace with my father's passing. I'm no longer one to hold any grudges against anyone. I do think about him every day, and I do think about what my life could have been like if he was still here today. But I have moved on, and I will not stop myself from moving forward with my life. I came here to say that I do believe people can change if they put in the work. I know that Jose Gomez has done programs while he's in prison, and I know that if he's ever released, or I hope that if he's ever released, that he continues to do good. But I'm not here to say whether or not he should or shouldn't get out. I hope that whatever happens at the end of this is for the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do not have any other speakers in support of Jose Gomez.
We now take speakers in opposition to Jose Gomez.
Chairperson, there are no speakers signed up for opposition to Jose Gomez.
The next case is John Kovac, number F07429, item 47. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. People who signed up to speak in support of John Kovac, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Ruben Ruiz, and I see that you are with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. Ruben Ruiz, you have to click the little microphone icon at the top of your screen to unmute your video. It's a little microphone icon with a line through it. It's at the top of the screen by the little red telephone. You'll see a microphone icon with a line through it. If you click that, it should unmute it. You might have to leave the meeting and come back in. There's a couple of other speakers. We're going to go on to Paulina Rivas. Paulina, if you are with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's see if she's on the list. She may not be. It was a tentative. We're just going to give Mr. Ruiz just a moment to reattend the meeting, if that's okay.
Yes.
I'd like to give Paulina Rivas one more chance. If you are joining us by telephone, you can press *6 on your telephone to unmute yourself. We do have somebody unmuted. It's not her. Okay. I don't see Mr. Ruiz in the attendee list at the moment. We might have to circle back to him.
Thank you. We will now take speakers in opposition to John Kovac.
Thank you. We do have one, Connie Lasky. Connie, if you're with us, go ahead.
Good morning. The governor expressed concerns about inmate Kovac's parole grant, specifically about his relapse prevention plans and the strength of his social supports. The people share the governor's concerns. At the hearing, the people expressed concern that the inmate continued to use controlled substances while actively engaged in substance abuse treatment. As the clinician said, the inmate's, quote, risk was aggravated by the length and severity of his substance abuse disorders compared to his relatively brief period of sobriety. His substance use disorders were the catalyst for his criminal and violent behaviors in the past, so it is imperative that he has a specific and detailed plan for maintaining sobriety in the community, end quote. In his submitted relapse prevention plans, the inmate does not provide substantive coping skills that are taught in the self-help classes that he has attended. His primary coping skill is to attend AA or NA meetings. Unfortunately, merely attending meetings in a controlled prison setting has been insufficient to prevent him from relapsing when he encountered life stressors, so it is unlikely to prevent a relapse in the free community. The inmate's substance abuse problem was the cause of his lengthy criminal history, so relapse would pose an unreasonable danger to public safety. For these reasons, the people join the governor in asking this board to rescind this improvident grant of parole. Thank you.
Thank you. I see that Ruben Rees has rejoined the meeting. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Ruben Rees, and I'm speaking in support of John Kovac. I've known John Kovac for over 8 years, dating back to when we were both incarcerated. I've remained in regular contact with him ever since. I come here not just as someone supporting John, but as someone who has gone through reentry myself. I was sentenced as a juvenile to life without parole and served 26 years. Since my release, I've built a stable life centered around reentry and responsibility. I work with Amity Foundation, supporting individuals transitioning out of our incarceration. I manage multiple residential properties and have just transitioned into real estate investing. I've been home for over 8 years, and during that time, I've seen John grow and develop consistently. What stands out to me most is his consistency and the way he shows genuine care for others. I stay in contact with him every 1 or 2 weeks, and during difficult times in my life and in his, we have shared things and struggles in our lives. When my girlfriend experienced serious heart issues, John was somebody who consistently checked in with me and called me very often. He showed real concern. He's gotten to know my family, my girlfriend, and my 2-year-old daughter. I believe that when John comes home, he will not just be navigating a process alone. He will have an extensive support network. I will be able to help him with employment. And if there's ever a gap in his housing, I'm willing to open my home to him temporarily to ensure he has a stable place to land while he builds his foundation. In addition to my personal support, John will be stepping into a broader network, a network that I
Your
that
2
I know.
minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
I'll close with saying that from my experience, successful reentry comes from structure, consistency, and having people who are genuinely invested in you. John will have that. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for John Kovac.
The next case is Jose Legaspi Jr., number AM0988, item 48. Moderator, before we hear from speakers in support after this case, Mr. Legaspi, we will be taking a brief recess, or break rather. Please call for speakers in support of Jose Legaspi.
Thank you, Chairperson. For those of you who have signed up to speak in support of Jose Legaspi Jr., please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Paul Joyner. Paul, I see you're with us. Your microphone has been enabled. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, I see you're in person. My apologies.
Joyner is in person. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Paul Joyner. Good morning. I am a volunteer chaplain with the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department. I've been doing that for 16 years. And I first came in contact with Jose about 6 years ago. He had been referred back to Stanislaus County for a review of his case, which I understand his initial sentence was 25 to life. But there were issues with his case. He was referred back to Stanislaus County. During the 8 or 9 years he was incarcerated before that, Jose had quite a change in his life. He surrendered his heart to the Lord, And when he got back to Stanislaus County, the first thing he did is he put in a request for a visit from a chaplain. And that request came to me. And for the next 3 years that he was in county jail, we visited almost on a weekly basis by video. Eventually, his case was resolved. He was sent back to state prison where he's been for about 3 years now, building up until granting his parole just recently. And so during that 3-year period, he was in state prison again. We communicated regularly via text and phone call. I can tell you this morning from my experience, 16 years of dealing with hundreds of inmates, that in my view, Jose is the poster child of inmates who have gone through rehabilitation and are ready for the ability and the opportunity to get back into society. So I fully and wholeheartedly support his parole. Thank you.
Thank you. The second in person is Alicia Legaspi.
Is it green there?
Okay. Can you hear me?
No. You're going to press the button one more time.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Alicia Legaspi. I am the mother of Jose Legaspi. My son has been away and was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. The Supreme Court reversed it, and now my son has a chance to come home. I can't tell you enough. You have his file and you see what he's done, classes he's taken, even before he had a chance to come home. Years before he started classes, he was on the dean's list in college. In there, he has changed. He is a changed man. He needed to grow up. He grew up in there, which is amazing to me to see his kindness, his love for everyone. He keeps in tabs with, I have 5 grandkids, and he keeps in tabs with them. The oldest one, he was in his life while he was out, and he's kept in touch with him. Right now, he is a 4.0 in school because Uncle keeps in tabs with him, tells him what he needs to do. And I, as a mother, have seen that change from that little boy to that young teenager who I tried to the man that he is today. And I believe that we will be there for him like I have been all these years. Every weekend, every time I am there. And I will be there for him. But change cannot be in a book, cannot be in anything. It has to come from the heart. And he has changed. And I know he has the tools and remembers what he needs to do. I thank you guys for everything. Send my baby home. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The last speaker I have is on the phone, Amanda Moline. Go ahead and press *6 on your phone to unmute your phone. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Amanda Maline. I am a friend of Jose Legaspi, and I'm calling in support for him. Over the past several years, I have gotten to know him and the amazing person that he is. I do not know how he was in his past, but I'm very focused on who he is today. Over the past year and a half, I've gone through some incredibly difficult moments in my life, including a breast cancer scare and most recently a devastating accident that involved my daughter. During that time, Jose was just truly somebody that I was able to lean on to give me encouragement and support and it meant more to me and my family. What stands out the most for me is how he shows up for others, for his family, for me, for my family, even while he has his own circumstances going on and being incarcerated. His kindness and genuine care are real. I've experienced them firsthand. To me, Mr. Legaspi represents exactly what rehabilitation is supposed to look like and what CDCR strives for in rehabilitation. I truly hope you take my experience into consideration, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Chairperson, I have no more speakers in support of Jose Legaspi Jr.
You will now take speakers in opposition to Jose Legaspi Jr.
Those who have signed up to speak in opposition to Jose Legaspi Jr., please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or press *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Jessica Slefo. Jessica, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes start when you begin to speak.
Hi, good morning. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Jessica Slefo, and I'm here on behalf of my family and in memory of my brother, Barco Slefo, whose life was taken in 2009. Barco was just more than a brother. He was someone who brought love, laughter, and strength into our lives. He was someone we expected to grow old with, to celebrate milestones with, and to continue building memories with. That was all taken away from us. For the past 17 years, we have carried the pain of losing him every single day. There's no closure, no moving on, just learning how to live with a loss that should have never happened. With a sentence of life without parole was given, we believed that meant accountability. We believed it meant that the person responsible would never again have the opportunity to harm others. That gave our family a sense of security in a situation where everything else has been taken. Today, that security is being shaken. Parole is meant for individuals who have demonstrated true change and a complete break from the behaviors that led to their crimes. From what we understand, this individual continues to show signs of ongoing affiliation and behavior that raise serious concerns. This is just not painful for our family, it is a risk to public safety. This is not only about our grief, it is about protecting others. It is about honoring the seriousness of this crime and ensuring that justice continues to be upheld. My brother Barco does not get a second chance at life. He does not get to come home, to live his life, or to be with his family. We live with that reality every day. We are simply asking that the sentence given, one that reflected the severity of this crime, be upheld. For those reasons, we respectfully ask that parole be denied. Because while time has passed, the impact of what has been done has never lessened, and neither has our need for justice and safety. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker I have is Victoria Vasquez from Stanislaus County. Victoria, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm appearing for the District Attorney's Office of Stanislaus County. On April 13, 2009, 18-year-old Jose Legaspi drove his mother's van with the intent of finding a car to run down a rival gang member. Instead, he drove up on 18-year-old Barco Slefo while his passenger fired multiple shots. Barco Slefo died of a single gunshot wound that pierced his chest plate and hit his aorta, killing him within minutes. Inmate Legaspi was interviewed but not arrested and later fled the jurisdiction to Mexico. He returned later and was convicted. Inmate Legaspi's crimes did not stop with his prison commitment. While remaining in general population, inmate Legaspi has continued his criminal conduct, where he has assaulted another inmate in 2014, possessed a cell phone in 2019, maintained and or drew images related to gang paraphernalia in 2023 and 2024, engaged in restitution avoidance for 7 years from 2016 until 2023, maintained his gang tattoos, and illegally sold his drawings through the mail until 2023. This despite having funded several programs aimed at changing his criminal thinking. Even though inmate Legaspi has been in prison for 14 years, he has never debriefed from his gang. He has admitted he was contacted by gang members in 2023, but he refused to engage despite his history of holding a position of authority within the gang and committing acts of assault for the benefits of the gang. While inmate Legaspi told the panel he felt safe in general population, he did not feel safe enough to identify the actual killer of Mr. Sleffo. Inmate Legaspi said should he return to his former community, he will likely see friends whom he associated within the gang, and has stated he will live elsewhere, despite the fact his entire support network is mostly based in Stanislaus County. Inmate Legaspi is living half in and half out of his gang. He has told the panel he is done, but will not be debrief or go to a sensitive needs or programming yard. He is an
Your 2
unreasonable
minutes
risk to
have
public
elapsed.
safety
Please conclude your statement.
to any community wherever he is released, as he continues to engage in criminal thinking and continues to maintain his gang ties in general population. We ask the panel to rescind his parole grant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairpersons, there are no more speakers for Jose Legaspi Jr.
Moderator, before we take our break, we are going to circle back to item number 44, David Ng. We have an additional speaker in support, Sabrina Flores.
Sabrina Flores, okay. Let me make sure her microphone is enabled. Just to bear with me one moment, sir. I don't see her in the list currently, or at least her phone number. Sabrina Flores, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself by pressing *6 or raise your hand by pressing *5 so that we can see that you're here. She appears to have left.
All right, thank you, moderator. At this time, we will go ahead and take a 10-minute break. Moderator, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
The next case today is Robert Lugo, number B84736, item 49. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. The first person I have signed up to speak for Robert Lugo is Antonio Lugo. One moment. Antonio, are you with us? I see your number in the participant list, and I do see you unmuted. We cannot hear you if you are speaking.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Dear members of the parole board, my name is Antonio Lugo. I am Robert Lugo's younger brother. I have been self-employed for 18 years and have been married to my wife, Yareli Lugo, for 20 years. I am writing to express my full support for my brother's release. As a business owner, I want to assure the board that Robert will have stable employment and security upon his return. In addition, he will have continued financial and spiritual support over the past 6 years. The effort and dedication Robert has shown have been evident. He has taken full accountability for his actions, which has helped him grow into a better man, a man who is actively seeking redemption and is eager to prove that he is no longer the person he was 24 years ago. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Yareli Lugo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Dear members of the parole, my name is Yareli Lugo. I am Roberto Lugo's sister-in-law. I want to express my strong support for my brother-in-law, Roberto Lugo, in consideration of his parole. I have known Roberto for over 24 years, and during that time, I have seen both his past struggles and, more importantly, his genuine transformation. While I acknowledge his past mistakes, I firmly believe in his sincerity and accountability and dedication to living a different life moving forward. Over the years, I have witnessed the consistent progress he has made. He has demonstrated a reformed character, a commitment to personal growth, and clear desire to become a positive, contributing member of society. Robert has taken meaningful steps to better himself, including working towards his Associate of Arts degree in Social and Behavioral Science, and is now only 4 classes away from completing it. Beyond his education efforts, Robert has shown a strong willingness to follow guidance, surround himself with positive influences, and make responsible choices. He has the support of his family and a stable environment that will help him continue on that path if granted parole. I respectfully ask that you consider the significant changes Robert has made and the effort to continue to invest in his building a better future. I truly believe he is ready for society and contribute in a positive way. Sincerely, Yareli Lugo. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next speaker I have is Robert Lugo.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's very faint.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Dear members of the board, my name is Roberto Antonio Lugo Jr. I'm here to support the grant for my uncle, Robert Lugo.
He means a lot to our family. If granted parole, not only would this allow him to finally be free, but to also finally be with our family again. We know that he is a missing piece to our family, and we're ready to support him, care for him, and continue leading him towards the right path. He has proven time and time again that he and will only continue to grow as a person. By giving him this chance at parole, it wouldn't just prove to us, but to you as well, that he has truly been progressing with this opportunity. We know that he will only use this chance to do right, just for himself, but for his family as well. We believe in him and are ready to move forward together. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Laya Lugo. Apologize for pronunciation.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Leah Lugo, and I am Roberto Lugo's niece. I'm here today in full support of his release. My uncle has had a powerful impact on my life, especially in my journey to becoming a college soccer player for Cal State LA. More than family, he has been a mentor, counselor, and a constant source of encouragement. Throughout the years, by phone calls and visits, he has guided me through difficult moments, giving me advice, and always reminding me to stay focused on my goals. When I doubted myself or felt overwhelmed, he helped me stay mentally strong and believe in my potential. He pushed me to work harder, stay disciplined, and never give up on myself. Because of his support, I have grown not only as an athlete, but as a person. I have learned responsibility, commitment, and perseverance. I truly believe that his influence played a major role in helping me reach the level of playing college soccer. I am a direct result of the guidance, love, and belief he has shown me over the years. I am grateful for everything my uncle has done for me, and I know he will continue to be a positive influence in the life of others and give them the opportunity to come home. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Berta Lopez.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Buenos días.
Okay, she's gonna read her statement in Spanish, and then I'm just gonna read it real quick in English after, if that's okay.
That is okay. Your time will be extended since you're using translations.
Thank you so much.
Buenos días. Mi nombre es Berta López. Yo soy la madre de Roberto Lugo. Yo apoyo la decisión de que lo dejen salir. En los últimos 24 años que ha estado encarcelado, yo he hablado con él prácticamente cada día, lo he visitado muy regularmente y hemos tenido visitas familiares. Le he enviado cartas, tarjetas, textos, gracias a la tableta que se le ha otorgado en la prisión. Basado en esto, yo he sido testigo y puedo afirmar que mi hijo ha experimentado un cambio transformador. Quiero repetir esto. He experimentado que mi hijo ha experimentado un cambio transformador. Él no es el mismo joven que entró en la prisión hace 24 años. Sé que él está muy arrepentido de sus acciones y que él ha hecho todo lo posible por convertirse en el hijo, padre y hermano que todos apoyamos el día de hoy. Yo creo que está listo para entrar en la sociedad y ser abrazado y acogido por su familia que lo ama. Yo lo amo y mi deseo a esta edad de 61 años es tenerlo libre y disfrutar de la vida positiva que él ha estado dedicado a construir para un futuro mejor de él y de todos nosotros. En mi casa hay un cuarto disponible para él. Es un lugar seguro para que él pueda reintegrar su vida. Muchas gracias por su consideración. Gracias.
Okay, and I'm just going to translate it. Good morning. My name is Berta Lopez. I am the mother of Roberto Lugo. I support the decision that they release him. In the last 24 years that he has been incarcerated, I have spoken with him practically every day. I have visited him very regularly, and we have had family visits. I sent him letters, cards, and now texts thanks to the tablet that was granted to him in the prison. Based on all of this, I have been a witness and can affirm that my son has experienced a transformative change. He is not the same young man who entered the prison 24 years ago. I know that he is remorseful for his actions and that he has done everything possible to become the son, father, and brother that we all support today. It is my belief that he is ready to enter society and be embraced and welcomed by his family that loves him. I love him, and my desire at this age of 61 years old is to have him free and enjoy the positive life that he has been dedicated to building for a better future for himself and for all of us. In my house, there is a room available for him, a safe place where he can reintegrate his life. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. The next speaker I have is Michelle Mandriano. Michelle, are you in the meeting? I do not see her number in the attendees list. If you are in this meeting, please press *5 to raise your hand and we can enable your microphone. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and circle back. The next speaker I have is Neri Lugo. Microphone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Good morning. My name is Nettie Lugo, Robert's older sister, and I strongly support his release. For the past 24 years, I have supported Robert through visits and close contact, giving me a direct view of his growth from a troubled teenager into a mature man with purpose, discipline, and kindness. Having served as a minister for over 15 years and as a community liaison and tax and notary business owner for more than 10 years, my life's work has focused on guiding and assisting individuals in becoming healthy, productive members of society. Through that experience, I have learned that true rehabilitation begins when a person transforms their thinking, develops accountability, and adopts new life patterns. In my humble opinion, and without undermining his past actions, I believe Robert now reflects all those changes. He has chosen and surrounded himself with pro-social individuals, made good decisions, and remained focused on diminishing risk factors of reverting to old behaviors and ways of thinking. Robert has faced hardship, and last year the loss of our loving father figure, our grandpa, who anxiously prayed and earnestly awaited the day he would see him out, among other adversities, yet he has not returned to destructive thinking or past behaviors. His communication, attitude, emotional responses, and decision-making now reflect maturity and self-awareness. Through his educational achievements, he has chosen discipline, growth, and service, becoming a substance abuse counselor who now helps and mentors others by turning past pain into purpose. With that being said, my husband and I are ready to provide Robert with a warm, stable, and loving home. We will provide him with emotional support, accountability, faith-based guidance, and opportunities for meaningful work. I respectfully ask that you grant my beloved brother the opportunity to reunite with us, his family, where I am confident he will continue to be a productive man who recognizes the value of this wonderful opportunity.
2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Thank you. I'm sorry?
Thank you. Nope, you're just good. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker I have is Jesus Alanes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Dear members of the board, I am speaking in full support of my brother-in-law, Robert Lugo. My name is Jesus Alanis. I have been married to Robert's sister, Neri, for 22 years, and I have known Robert for about 26 years. Robert is a drummer, and I play the piano. Before I started dating his sister, we would get together at his house to practice music that we were going to play in the youth group for the church that we used to attend at the time, before he unfortunately went down the wrong path that landed him where he is now. I have served as an associate pastor for approximately 13 years. Through both my ministry and my personal relationship with Robert, I have had the opportunity to witness a meaningful transformation in his life. Over time, I have seen Robert grow into a mature and responsible individual. He has taken accountability for his past decisions and has demonstrated a genuine commitment to personal change. This is not something I say lightly. It is something I have observed firsthand through the years of his incarceration. He has graduated high school, has completed many self-help programs, and recently has become a registered substance abuse counselor online, all which are traits of a man who has changed his life for the better, purpose and has goals for a good present and future. Robert has also been in touch with his son, Roberto Ulysses Lugo Jr., throughout all the years of his life, and he is ready to be part of it on the outside as he reintegrates into society. If Robert is granted parole, I am committed to walking alongside him as a spiritual mentor, offering guidance, encouragement, and accountability as he begins his new chapter of his life. I am also willing to assist him financially in any way necessary to help him establish a strong and stable foundation. Robert has a solid and loving support system waiting for him, and he is eager to return to his family and contribute positively to his community. I truly believe he is ready for this opportunity and that he will continue on the path of growth
Your 2 minutes
and
have elapsed. Please
responsibility
conclude your statement.
that he has demonstrated. We are ready to fully support him. We know that it's not going to be an easy road and it takes a village, but we are that village for him. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Jacob Alanis.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. Hello, members of the board. My name is Jacob Alanis, and Roberto Lugo is my uncle. I've had the privilege of visiting him consistently over the past 15 years and can say with confidence that his mentality and direction in life have completely transformed. This change didn't happen by chance. It's the result of his genuine commitment to growth and accountability. My uncle no longer speaks or carries himself in the way that he did in his past. Instead, he demonstrates patience, humility, and a natural leadership that has helped him impact those around him. I have witnessed the extensive and hard work of internal reflection that he has done to understand himself and how to redirect his life, and I am inspired by the example my uncle has set. As a sociology major in Biola University, and with everything I have learned and the resources I am connected to, I am personally committed to helping connect my uncle to these resources. I will continue to build on the tools he has developed, like community programs, employment support, or counseling networks. He will not be alone in this transition. Our family has not only been a source of support, but also held him accountable on his journey, and will continue to do so because this change in my uncle is just as important to us as it is for him in his future. Now, as a substance abuse counselor, my uncle has taken his past and turned it into something meaningful and is prepared to guide others away from the same mistakes he once made. That kind of transformation is not only rare, but incredibly valuable to our communities. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Alfred Wiseman.
Thank you, board members. This is Alfred Wiseman. I am the attorney that represented Robert Lugo at his parole suitability hearing. My office has submitted a 5-page statement in support of his grant. The comments I make now are in addition to that statement. I'd like to direct the panel to pages 296 through 300 of the 10-day packet. There are 2 documents written by Mr. Lugo there, one entitled Self-Love, the other entitled Not in Vain. I'm going to briefly quote portions of the document entitled Not in Vain because these demonstrate Mr. Lugo's sincere remorse for the actions that led him to prison and his commitment to pro-social rehabilitation. On page 298, the first full paragraph, these are Mr. Lugo's words. As I look back at the destruction I have caused as a result of my choices, I feel this sadness and intense feeling of remorse in my heart, a feeling that today motivates me every day that I wake up to continue pressing forward in the right direction, a feeling of remorse that is a constant reminder that I can never again allow all the pain, tears, trauma, and horror that I have unjustly and senselessly caused to all of my victims to continue to be in vain. And then on the following page, page 299 of the 10-day packet, bottom full paragraph, Mr. Lugo states, today I choose to live a life that will honor my victims. Today I choose to live a life without violence, without drugs or alcohol. And then on the last full page of that document on page 300, the last 2 sentences, today I choose to make the right choice. I choose life. I choose to honor my victims. On behalf of Mr. Lugo, we would request the board meeting in Banc to affirm his grant of parole. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Carlos Icoposo.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, good morning. My name is Carlos Yocupicio. I'm attending today to speak on behalf of my friend and brother, Robert Lugo. I have known Lugo for over 10 years now. We met in the CDCR facility. Since then, I have been given a second opportunity at life. I have been free for nearly 4 years now, off parole, successfully paying rent and making a living for myself and my loved ones. I know firsthand that life will constantly test us, and we can never undo the wrong we have done. But I also know that we have the power to tilt the balance towards the good. We didn't become callous overnight, so there is no magic switch. It takes practice. Just like it took practice to become callous, if we strive every day to become better, eventually the scale and the balance will tilt for the good. It is in my humble opinion that Robert Lugo's scale has tilted for the better. I have seen a change in my friend. He has expressed the utmost remorse and taken the necessary steps to correct his previous ward release system and behavior. Furthermore, as someone who has successfully completed parole and turned my life around, I vouch that I will be his support system morally, spiritually, or financially, so that together we can break the vicious cycle of violence and victimization. Thank you for your time. I hope my words can help you all reconsider Robert Lugo's sentence. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Melissa Romero. I see your hand is raised. You do still show as muted. Go ahead and press *6 on your telephone, and that will unmute your microphone. I see you're
Hello.
unmuted now. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Melissa. I first met Robert Lugo about 10 years ago with my now living boyfriend, they were incarcerated together at Chicawalla Valley State Prison. The first thing I noticed was that him and my boyfriend, Carlos Yocupicio, were very close. They studied together, prayed, and steered each other away from trouble as much as possible. They shared so many ups and downs as true friends. This made me and Robert's mom, Bertha, very close. We both saw the true change in our loved ones and became very hopeful. I don't want to diminish the harm that has been caused, but I also am a firm believer in second chances. Throughout the years, I've been able to see the change for the good in Robert. He has completed different programs. He has worked on himself as well as his relationship with his loved ones. He has shown remorse and accountability. I know with the true support and love which he has from all his family and friends, Robert can make it out here. If given the opportunity at a second chance, Robert can, without a doubt, count on us for any support that he may need. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I wanted to give another opportunity to Michelle Madriano. Michelle, are you in the meeting with us? If you're able to press *5 on your telephone, that will allow us to enable your microphone. Chairperson, I have no more speakers in support for Robert Lugo.
Thank you. We will now take speakers in opposition to Robert Lugo.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have one speaker signed up for opposition is Dana Greason.
Good morning. This inmate engaged in gang activity along with other gang members, firing numerous rounds into a vehicle with 5 people inside. He also was involved in another separate crime where him and other gang members had a shootout with presumed rivals, and one of his companions shot and killed a 14-year-old. His long history of gang involvement did not end when he entered prison. Though he claims he disassociated with gangs in 2005, he admits he only did so because he was worried about retaliation for statements he made to the police about his case. He admitted he did not change his gang mentality. He tattooed himself with a teardrop tattoo to intimidate others by showing he was a killer around 2013. The inmate has a number of RVRs, but in 2022, he engaged in 2 separate fights with 2 different inmates. He told the board he joined the gang engaged in this commitment of crime because he wanted to be feared and respected. He gave the same reasons for his fights in 2022. In 2024, the inmate received a higher moderate risk rating for numerous reasons. The governor's concerns include worries if the inmate has sufficiently mitigated his risk factor for antisocial conduct and whether he has the insight and tools he will need to maintain pro-social relationships in the community. However, even after the fights, the inmate engaged in restitution avoidance up until a few months before his 2024 hearing, despite owing $18,000 of $26,000 ordered in restitution. The reason he stopped, by his own statement, was he had heard people were losing grants of parole over this behavior. This inmate has not demonstrated a sustained period of pro-social behavior. Even without the fights, which are of great concern, restitution avoidance involves deception, association with negative peers, and any true lack of empathy and remorse of victims. Clearly not pro-social behavior. He did it despite programming and despite the CDCR has made it clear for years that it's illegal. Simply put, after a lifetime of gang membership and violence, we should expect an inmate to demonstrate some sustained pro-social conduct. That is not the case, and the inmate should be rescinded. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chairpersons, there are no more speakers for Robert Lugo.
The next case is Tyrone Mitchell, number F17598, item 50. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. Those that are signed up to speak in support for Tyrone Mitchell, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will enable us to help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Katrina Grable Mitchell.
Yes, it's Miss Katina Delette Graber Mitchell. Good morning, esteemed members of the parole board. My name is Miss Katina Graber Mitchell. I'm the wife of Mr. Tyrone Mitchell, CDCR number F as in Frank 17598. We have been married for going on 7 years. I'm here today to fully support his parole review and in transition into society. Over the time of his incarceration, my long-standing relationship with Tyrone has allowed me to witness a remarkable transformation. His rehabilitation manifested into refined behavior, accountability, and solid resolution to reintegrate into society. Tyrone made commendable efforts to rectify past choices. Having engaged in multiple programs aimed at self-improvement, he has been completely transparent with me about his past actions, holding himself fully accountable for the pain he has caused and the laws he has broken. He has taken full responsibility, which I believe is the first step towards true rehabilitation. Tyrone has no affiliation with the gang members he was once engaged with, and he has committed himself to the Criminal Gang Anonymous self-help group, which has supported him in his transition to positive lifestyle. He often shares with me what he is learning in these classes and programs, showing he is truly internalizing them rather than going through the motions. He has matured and is focused on making positive contributions to our family and the community. After completing his parole, Tyrone will reside with me in Dallas, Texas. I'm stabilized in the community and a licensed counselor by the state of Texas, and he has a place to call home. We're not entering this blindly. We have a solid structured plan for his reentry to ensure he remains a law-abiding, productive member of society. Tyrone holds enormous potential for creating a meaningful life while following society norms. I believe in his rehabilitation and his commitment to his future. I ask that you give him the opportunity to show the community the man he has become. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and the work you do.
Thank you, ma'am. The next speaker I have is Kamasina Steed.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, great. Good morning. I want to thank the board for allowing me to speak today on behalf and in support of Tyrone Mitchell. I've known him for about 7 years now and have seen a lot of positive change within his behavior, his attitude, and his willingness to make better choices for his future. He has shown tremendous growth through the several programs he has taken to help better himself and his situation. The people around you can play a big part in your progress and the choices that you choose to make. and he has removed himself from anything or anyone that might hinder the betterment of self. He has gained a great support system who is ready to help him fulfill his duties in life, including financial support, a job security, and a well-groomed environment to better his outcome of success. We sometimes make choices in life that can put us in situations that are not always good for us, but the challenge is being able to overcome adversity and be willing to make the positive changes and choices. I feel like love is truly the key to manifest better people. And with the love that he has received, I believe he has realized that it's never too late to make a better life for himself. Thank you guys for your time today.
Thank you. The next speaker I have is Uki Valerie.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me? Yes, how you doing? First, I'd like to give thanks to the commission, the board, for having me be able to speak on behalf of Mr. Mitchell. My name is Ike Valerie, a former lifer, heart life coach at Soledad State Prison for ARC. I've had the pleasure of having Mr. Mitchell participate in our program where he shared insight and he very encouraging other individuals to look deep within themselves and to address their issues. I'm very encouraged because what we do, we try to have people to live suitable lives, not just as incarcerated individuals, but also in every role they play as a father, a brother, a cousin, a friend, a neighbor. What does that suitability look like? What standard do you live by? And he has shown me various ways in which he have lived a suitable life. One example, I was in class and a young Hispanic man asked me, could he read a poem? I said, well, go ahead. And he read the poem, and he said so many great things about this person that he had admiration for. And at the end of the poem, he looked at Mr. Mitchell and said, you're that person. Mr. Mitchell looked at him in shock, and a tear dropped down his eye. And when it did, I put my hand on Mr. Mitchell's shoulder and I said, now that's living suitable. That's what it looked like when you impact lives for good and don't expect anything back. That's what it looked like. So I was compelled to speak at this hearing. I wrote him a letter because a person can come to class and they can do classes. But when you see someone with an impromptu gesture say, this is the impact you made on my life, and I just want you to know this, it's nothing else I can say. You know, it's nothing else because that's what it looked like. So with that being said, upon his release, I'm willing to continue to be his life coach, accountability partner, and also is my
Your
prayer
2
and my
minutes have
hope
elapsed. Please
that
conclude your statement.
is my prayer and hope that your ruling for suitability stand true. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Assam Nia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Hi, my name is Asim Nia. I know Mitchell for roughly about 10 to 12 years. I've been with him at Salinas Valley, CMC, and Chuckawalla State Prison. I was there before change, and I'm there after change. I know the bad side of him. I'm a former lifer. I was there when we was both getting into trouble and acting up. And when I seen Mitchell at Chuckawalla State Prison for the first time, I wasn't expecting to see him on a non-designated yard. It's very few of us that would actually make that change, but to see him, I knew that it was true change that he had. We spoke about it and understanding why he came, and he actually volunteered to come over to a non-designated yard because he knew that he didn't want the other side of his life that ever defined him. Right here, me, I got out for board from the same very people that's sitting before y'all. And I heard a couple of cases in here where I was in prison with Lucas and with Davis and all them. And I know those people. I know Mitchell, when he tells something, he's real with it and he's truthful with it about his change. And that's pretty much what I have to say right now. I'm out on parole and I got I'm in college, go to Cal State LA, got a 3.0. I got me a car, got me a job. I saved up to $20,000 out. The brothers that get out of prison, in any way I could assist them, I would. And I've been taking them up here to get jobs, to get their social security card, to get their California ID, driver's license, whatever they need. I have their back. And I know, I can move 1,000. With Brother Mitchell, we can move tens of thousands. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Pastor Marilyn Rankins. I do not see them on the participant list at this time. If you're able to press *5 on your telephone to raise your hand, we will be able to enable your microphone. Okay, the next speaker I have is Sam Cunningham. The next speaker I have is Sanol Joseph. I do see you on the speaker list here. Your hand is raised, but you still show as muted. Press *6 or press the microphone button at the top of your screen.
I think I'm unmuted.
Yes, sir, you are.
Thank you. My name is Sunil Joseph, and I am a facilitator with the GRIP program, which GRIP stands for Guiding Rage into Power. I've been facilitating GRIP since 2019 at Mule Creek, CMF in Vacaville, San Quentin, and Soledad. And I've worked with close to 300 students through this program. Mitchell was in one of my classes about a year ago, and he truly stood out. There was a moment in class where one of our facilitators said something unintentionally that really activated our group. And Mitchell, while he was triggered, really demonstrated what we call it is to be a peacemaker, which was he was able to track his emotions. He was able to be mindful and know that he was activated, and he was able to communicate why he felt impacted by the words of the facilitator. The facilitator apologized, and thanks to Mitchell demonstrating what it means to respond rather than react, the whole group went deeper. That is just one incident where I've seen him demonstrate his transformation. He's truly internalized what it means to make a change, to live nonviolently. And so I felt really compelled to be here to speak on his behalf. He's really taken the opportunity to transform himself, and I fully support his release. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have signed up to speak is Jay Saber. Jay, if you are in the meeting, please raise your hand by pressing *5. The next speaker I have is Darius Gaines. And Mr. Lewis, I see your hand raised there, but I do not have a speaker card. A speaker card must be filled out in order to speak on any case today. Chairperson, I have no more speakers signed up to speak for Tyrone Mitchell.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Tyrone Mitchell.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speakers signed up to speak in opposition for Tyrone Mitchell.
The next case is Frank Sanborn, number B33625, item 51. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. The first speaker I have signed up to speak in support is David Guy Williams. I see your hand raised, Mr. Williams.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second.
Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is David Williams. I have been Frank Sanborn's sponsor by mail in the Sex Addicts Anonymous SAA 12-step recovery program since February 2024. I've sponsored about 20 guys in prison, and Frank is one of only 5 who have completed all 12 steps of the program. Frank completed all assignments in a timely manner. He was very thoughtful and thorough in his reading, answering the questions for each step, and writing his inventory and amends. Just as important, Frank continues to call me once a week. We talk about avoiding conflict in tough situations and how to help others when they want help. He often tells me about guys that he has reached out to in order to help them get started in recovery. Specifically, he recently took the lead in starting a class based on the Road to Freedom book, which has been well respected for sexual offender treatment for 20 years. He has also facilitated a GOGI group and 12-step meetings. I know Frank is committed to continuing to work the 12-step program with me after he is released. I've asked him to call me every day. Frank is absolutely ready to sponsor other guys on the outside. Frank has developed a deeply honest understanding of the contributing factors in his addiction and crimes, and is committed to helping other guys to understand those things, build better lives, and not end up in prison. I know that Frank is ready and deserving for parole. I know that he will be a man that his family, friends, and recovery brothers can depend on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have signed up is Thomas Link.
Good morning, honorable members of the Executive Committee. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yes.
My name is Tom Link. Frank Sanborn has been my friend for many years. Please forgive my comical double glasses at such a momentous event. They are in preparation for cataract surgeries. I appear today in support of your affirming the unanimous decision of Presiding Commissioner Diane Dobbs and Deputy Commissioner Christina Guerrero to parole Frank Sanborn. Of note in the decision of Presiding Commissioner Dobbs are the words, quote, based on the legal standards and the record before us, we find that you do not currently pose an unreasonable risk to the public safety and therefore are suitable for parole. The California Supreme Court has found that after a long period of time, the unchangeable factors may no longer indicate a current risk of danger when there's been a lengthy period of rehabilitated programming. Commissioner Dobbs, continue. You did a great job today talking about coping skills, understanding conflict with others, and also you demonstrated a good understanding about personal triggers. The release plans we also rated as mitigating. They are concrete. They are realistic. They address all of the things that you should need for stability in the community, close quote. After 25 years in custody, Frank Sanborn is an extremely reliable individual who will be an asset to the community as his positive personality traits strongly reflect his desire to work with us on the side of the angels in the city of the angels. I am prepared to support Frank Sanborn's reentry. I wholeheartedly support his parole. Frank Sanborn is a changed man. He has gotten his act together.
Please conclude your statement.
And deserves a second chance. Please vote to affirm his parole. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chairperson, I have no more speakers in support for Frank Sanborn.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Frank Sanborn.
Thank you. I have one speaker signed up to speak in opposition to Frank Sanborn, is Rebecca Hines.
Thank you. Hello. I am Rebecca Hines, Deputy DA from San Bernardino County. The inmate has been given an improvident grant of parole that should be reversed. The inmate was convicted of 11 counts of lewd and lascivious acts on 2 young victims, both under the age of 14. The inmate was 32 years old at the time, and he utilized his 2 nephews to invite their friends, 2 of which then became victims of the inmate while they were on camping trips. The inmate would then groom the minors by giving them alcohol and marijuana and then sexually assaulting them, sodomizing them at night. The inmate would seek out young minors who were vulnerable, who had family issues, and had parents who were not always available or were in prison. The governor had valid concerns regarding the inmate's parole, including the inmate's insight into his risk of reoffending and adequate coping skills. The people agree with these concerns and note that the inmate has had an average rating for his static 99 score for sexual recidivism. At the most recent parole hearing, December 9th of 2025, from this transcript, when asked, the inmate stated that he is a sex addict. This is also corroborated by the fact that he has joined the Sex Addicts Anonymous. And while he is trying to program, when asked if he was having sex with adults while he was molesting the boys, he responded no. This shows that the inmate lacks the proper insight into the risk of his reoffending with his pedophilic disorder and to be able to successfully parole. The inmate received an improvident grant of parole, and that must be reversed. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson, I have no more speakers for Frank Sanborn.
The next case is Arthur Thomas, number V42899, item 52. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have one speaker sign up to speak in support is Jennifer Mathis. Jennifer Mathis. Just one moment. Jennifer, I see you in the participant list. Go ahead. I see you just unmuted yourself. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am, I can.
Hi, good morning, board. My name is Jennifer Mathis, and I speak on behalf of my father, Arthur Andrew Thomas, for my entire family. I want you to know that I'm not here to excuse his past, but to show you the changed man who stands before you. Throughout his time incarcerated, I have dedicated my life to the values of service and accountability. I served my country in the Marine Corps. I served my community through my work in local government, and I continue to serve others by volunteering for disaster relief. I know what it means to uphold the law and to show up for people in their hardest moments. I have used these past 22 years to build a life of integrity, and I am here because I've seen my father do the same internal work from behind bars. This man you know is not the same man he was over 2 decades ago. He has focused entirely on his growth, his faith, and taking full ownership of his past choices. Even from within prison walls, he has remained a present and devoted grandfather. Without fail, every year, he calls all 12 grandchildren and sends them custom handmade birthday cards and holiday cards. This consistently shows his heart. He is a man now centered on God, who deeply desires to join the healthy, productive path his children have built. We have a comprehensive release plan to ensure his success. This includes applying for interstate compact so he can relocate to our home in North Carolina. We live in a quiet community where I can personally oversee his reentry. Our home is stable, substance-free environment. We do not consume alcohol, nor do we interact with drugs. We are fully prepared to ensure all his physical, financial, and emotional needs are met. Today, my father is a remorseful senior citizen with health concerns. He has been humbled and transformed. My brothers, his grandchildren, and I all stand behind him. He has proven his transformation, and we respectfully ask that you grant him parole and let this changed man come home. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support for Arthur Thomas.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Arthur Thomas.
Thank you. I have one speaker sign up to speak in opposition is Michael Milano.
Thank you. It's the position of Los Angeles District Attorney's Office that this grant was improvident and it merits further consideration at a rescission hearing. It's our position that Mr. Thomas has not shown a significant sustained period of sobriety, and he still needs to further mitigate his risk of substance abuse relapse. The governor was concerned whether he has the insight to succeed on parole, and tied closely to insight is criminal thinking. And this particular gentleman, Mr. Thomas, has recently feigned mental illness within CDCR between the years of 2023 and 2025 to get what he wanted faster. This is a antisocial personality disorder on full display. It is a very bad sign for his future risk of relapse of substance abuse with the criminal thinking and the antisocial behavior. Again, it's our position that this was an improvident grant and merits a further rescission hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chairperson, there are no more speakers signed up to speak for Arthur Thomas.
Thank you, moderator. We are nearing the end of today's agenda. We will have an opportunity for people to comment on any of the cases on today's agenda after the remaining 2 cases, but you must be on the speaker list. You can submit a speaker card available on the board's website under the tab called Board Meetings and the link called Meeting Agendas. Alternatively, you can call 916-267-0857 and provide your information in the case you would like to speak on. The next case is Christian Velez, number P85884, item 53. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you. Those that are signed up to speak in support of Christian Velez, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Indirna Ramirez. I believe your microphone has been enabled. You may unmute yourself by pressing *6. I still show you as muted. Go ahead and press *6 on your telephone.
Hi, good morning. My name is Indira Ramirez. As Christian's sister, I'm deeply committed to support him as he follows his relapse prevention plan and transitions back into the community after his release. Our family has waited many years for the opportunity to welcome him back home, and I'm dedicated to help him continue on this positive path he has worked so hard to build. I'm prepared to provide him with comprehensive support, emotional, financial, spiritual, transportation, housing, and employment assistance. Most importantly, I will be present for him as a supportive and encouraging sister, offering guidance and reassurance as he adjusts to life outside the reincarnation. I will help Christian maintain structure and accountability in his daily life, which includes transportation to AA meetings and helping him develop a structured schedule as he remains a productive individual in society, trying to avoid isolation, and will continue to build a stable and healthy routine as he integrates into society. In addition, I will work with him strengthening his support system. Our mom, his stepdad, his brothers are ready to help him in any possible way they can. I will remind him of his motivations of why to stay committed to his growth and positive change. Finally, I would like to express my appreciation to Gavin Newsom for considering his safety in our communities while recognizing the importance of rehabilitation and second chances. After so many years apart, our family is ready to welcome Christian back home with love, guidance, and accountability. I will stand beside him as a sister and as a steady source of encouragement while he continues to build responsible and productive life. I respectfully ask that he be given a second chance to prove that he is the person he is today as he reflects the growth and rehabilitation he has achieved. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, ma'am. The next speaker I have is Magdalena Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez?
Sorry, I was muted. Good
Go ahead.
morning. Good morning, board members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Magdalena Hernandez, and I'm here today to reaffirm my support for Christian Velez, not only as a friend, but as his accountability partner. I have known him for the last 14 years, and in the past 2 months, we have stayed in constant communication through daily phone calls, video calls, text messages, and I am here to offer support in many ways. The first thing, once he is released, is to go straight to his parole officer to get in contact with him. I am also going to school right now, and the number one thing after he checks in is with his parole officer. We're gonna enroll him into a class. I'm also going to be offering emotional, spiritual support, which I know it's one of the things that we talk daily, his relationship with Christ, with Jesus Christ, and how his life has changed. And that is my number one priority for him to be in a stable and loving environment. I will also help them in other ways too. My most important thing is for him to stay sober, to be in a healthy environment. We're going to do things like walking to the park, things that can help him in positive ways. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next speaker I have is Carlos Aviara Chavez. I see you in the participant list. You're still showing as muted. Go ahead and press *6. Sorry. *5 on your telephone.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear
*6
me?
will unmute yourself. Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning. My name is Carlos Chavez. I'm a long-term friend of Christian Velez. I've known him since we were kids. We went to elementary and junior high school together. During that time, I moved away and we parted ways, but after a year, he reached out to me through a mutual friend, and I've been in contact with him ever since. He, as far as talking to him, he seems to be very remorseful, and he seems to want to become and be a family man and pick up on all the things that he missed out on. I currently have a small business transportation service here in Los Angeles, California, and I offered him a job when he comes here. I mean, one of the things that I can do for him is keep him busy all day. I work anywhere from 8 to 12-hour shifts on a daily basis, and something that I'll be looking forward to passing over to him because I want to give myself a break. But I'm here to support him in any way possible that I can, mentally, and like I said, giving him a job and anything I can do for him. I will do my best to help him be a productive and a proper citizen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Cesar Zunga.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Cesar Zuniga. I'm calling today in support of Mr. Velez. I've known Mr. Velez over 2 decades. I myself, I am a former lifer. After serving 25 years incarcerated, I've been home for 10 years. Today, I am the Associate Director of the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. And I want to assure everyone on this call that I will help Mr. Velez transition correctly out here in society. Myself and the Anti-Recidivism Coalition will make sure we assist Mr. Velez in every way possible to help him in his transition. We have a numerous amounts of workshops and trainings we are prepared to offer Mr. Velez, and we also have housing. I have been in contact with Mr. Velez personally. I have went over a lot of stuff and how it is and how hard it is out here to reintegrate back into society. So we will be taking baby steps, understanding that jumping into a job is unrealistic. However, the wraparound services that we have here at the Anti-Recidivism Coalition will help him ease his way into society. We have workshops, financial literacy, digital literacy, career readiness, and we have all these wraparound services that we can provide for Mr. Velez. Mr. Velez has a home here with us at the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, and I'm going to make sure that he transitions slowly and safely into our community. I strongly seek that you guys grant his parole. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The last speaker I have signed up to speak in support is Ethel Cisneros.
Good morning, everybody. What I would like to say in support of Christian Velez is that I can help with Christian sticking to his relapse prevention plan and supporting him and staying on a positive path after his release. I will model positive behavior by never offering or consuming alcohol or drugs around Christian, consistently choosing a sober lifestyle along him. Addiction can come from bad habits, coping with stress, or emotional triggers. I can help Christian build a toolkit of positive and coping strategies. Additionally, I recognize the importance of patience and will strive to remain patient and positive and supportive as he navigates his addiction recovery process, no matter how long it takes. I will remind him often that I am willing to be his support, his recovery support. I will also remind him that he is valued, he can continue to do this, and he is not alone. Relapse prevention strategies are affectionate tools, including therapy, support groups, stress management, mindfulness, and healthy lifestyle habits such as sleeping, exercising, and eating a healthy meal. Being aware of Christian's triggers, I can help him cope. I will stay vigilant for warning signs. We discuss which coping strategies he will use when he feels overwhelmed, uneasy, or when he has an urge. I have known Christian for over 35 years and see that he has completely changed and is now the best version of himself. I will help him every step of the way to accomplish his goals and stay on track. I can be a sounding board and remind him consistently about his life and where he needs to go. I respectfully ask that the board grant his parole. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Chairperson, I have no more speakers in support for Christian Velez.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Christian Velez.
Thank you. I have one person sign up for opposition for Christian Velez, is Michael Milano.
Thank you very much for your time. In the matter of Mr. Velez, the governor had some concerns. Specifically, the clinician diagnosed Mr. Velez with multiple use disorders, and the governor was concerned whether or not Mr. Velez has sufficiently mitigated his risk of substance abuse relapse and whether or not his parole plans are adequate to help him in that regard. As far as Mr. Velez is concerned, his sober date is very recent, as of 2021. So what we see here is really not a significant sustained period of sobriety. And the governor's concerns about the multiple diagnoses and whether he's sufficiently mitigated this, I believe warrants further consideration at a subsequent rescission hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Christian Velez.
The last case today is Juan Villa, number F49354, item number 54. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speakers sign up to speak in support for Juan Villa.
You now take speakers in opposition to Juan Villa.
I have one speaker sign up for opposition, is Dana Greason.
Thank you. This inmate believed he had been disrespected and attacked an innocent victim as he sat inside his vehicle. The inmate grabbed the victim's neck and said, "Remember I told you I was going to kill you," and pulled out a knife and tried to stab the victim. The victim escaped the vehicle but was repeatedly stabbed by the inmate. Luckily, the victim survived. The inmate's criminal history is too long to relate here, but was extensive and continuous, resulting in probation, jail, and at least one prior prison term. He has a number of RBRs and recent disciplinary chronos, including losing his temper in 2022 and yelling and clenching his fists at a cook. This is consistent with his lack of anger control from the past. His 2024 CRA was high or moderate. The CRA lists numerous concerns that in 2024 denial they found to be unaddressed. The CRA notes the inmate has problems with treatment supervision response reflected in his lack of self-help programming. The clinician lists his lack of awareness into the substance abuse triggers, minimization of alcohol use. He appears to yet to have explored how his history of trauma related to the formation of his criminal mindset history of domestic violence, and has yet to address this behavior through programming. The CRA warned, overall, Mr. Villa does not appear prepared to manage the challenges associated with parole. The board denied in 2024 due to his lack of credibility of his commitment offense, denial and minimization, and the need for more programming and substance abuse. The inmate was expedited to his next hearing. At the time of his grant, he had not finished his denial management program, and he has only, by his own statement, worked some of the 12 steps. He again engaged in the same exact minimization as to his crimes and disciplinary issues he did in 2024. The inmate has not even completed the programming recommended after denial and could not have internalized programming he has not completed. He again lacked credibility, telling the same version of events of his attack he told in 2024, which are not credible. His grant should be rescinded. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Juan Villa.
Thank you, moderator. We will now take comments from anyone who has not yet spoken and wants to comment on a case on today's agenda.
Thank you. If you are signed up to speak on one of today's cases and have not yet spoken, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is for item number 49, Robert Lugo. I have Roberto Ulis Lugo. One moment. I do not see him in the participant list at this time. The next speaker I have is for item number 50, Tyrone Mitchell. Sam Cunningham.
Can you hear me? Oh.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Roberto Lugo.
Oh, so, okay. Roberto Lugo.
Sorry about that.
Speaking on item number 49.
Thank you. Greetings, members of the Banc. My name is Roberto Ulises Lugo Jr. I am here in support of my father's release. My father has been incarcerated since 2002, and despite that, I have had a relationship with him my entire life. I have been visiting him since I was only days old, and we have stayed connected through visits, letters, and regular phone calls. It has not always been easy, but it has always been important to me because of the man I have come to know. Through their relationship, I have been able to witness his growth firsthand. He has always been a positive influence in my life, giving me guidance and encouraging me to make good decisions. He has never led me in the wrong direction and has instead been someone that I look up to. During his incarceration, he has worked hard to better himself, and he has earned his high school diploma, for which I was physically present for. He has been a mentor to others and is a now registered substance abuse counselor. These are not just small accomplishments. They show real commitment to change. He has also taken massive accountability for his past by fully denouncing his former lifestyle, including going through the difficult process of removing his gang tattoos. To me, that shows how serious he is and about the former lifestyle that he wants to leave behind. It would be a privilege to get to experience the relationship with my father outside of prison walls, and I hope to finally experience that myself through your guys' kindness. Thank you to the members of the board.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is for item number 50, Tyrone Mitchell. Sam Cunningham.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak on behalf and support of my good friend, Mr. Mitchell today. First and foremost, I'd like to be completely transparent. I'm a former indeterminate incarcerated person. I spent a little bit over 30 years in prison, and since my release, I've been out over 10 years. I've worked for a nonprofit, and I work with men and women coming home from prison and jail, as well as go inside of institutions and provide programming, which is how I met Mr. Mitchell. About 3 years ago, Mr. Mitchell came into my classroom to sign up for my classes, and immediately I recognized there was something different about him. Going in, we could appreciate men and women on that side that's like a bridge to us and the population inside. Some of them are resistant to some of the classes and resistant to change. And Tyrell has always been, since the day I met him, been like that bridge that kept the open line of communication with us and the men inside. And I've seen him with different cultures, different races, different gangs, different, all kind of differences, always being the calm voice in situations. And I just really appreciate that. And I wanted to acknowledge that, but I also wanted to acknowledge that as my job, I connect people coming home with different resources to assure and give them the best opportunity to be successful in their transition. And I wanted to make sure that the board here understands that if Mr. Mitchell is allowed to come home, every resource I have available from Southern California to Northern California, both in my private, personal, and my professional life, will be at the disposal of Mr. Mitchell. He will have my complete support. Thank you again for allowing me this opportunity to speak today on behalf of Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is Adrian Lewis.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to speak for Tyrone Mitchell. My name is Adrian Lewis, and I've known Tyrone Mitchell since 2018. We were both incarcerated at California Medical Facility in Vacaville. We also share deeper history as we were once involved in the same criminal gang lifestyle. I was serving a life sentence and was granted parole in 2021 after doing 27 years. During my time preparing for my board hearing, Tyrone played a key role in supporting my growth and holding me accountable. And I still remember the day I was released. He was there to see me off with tears in his eyes. That moment reflects the bond we built through change and accountability. I'd actually like to say something that may seem controversial to some people, but it comes from real experience. I believe the board process should be required for everyone who is incarcerated. For me, it wasn't just about getting out. It was about understanding why I was there. It forced me to confront painful trauma, take responsibility, and develop real coping skills that I still use today. And I've seen those same benefits for Tyrone. I've watched him grow, be reflective, and put in the work to become a better person. Since my release, I have committed myself to living differently. I've attended the University of San Francisco. I work with a nonprofit inside San Francisco Juvenile Justice Center, teaching social emotional learning skills to youth, and I serve on the board of directors for Forming Hope, a nonprofit food justice program. Tyrone and I have remained in consistent contact since I've been out. We speak weekly and we continue to hold each other accountable. He is still my accountability partner and I'm his. I have also supported him financially, and when needed, I will continue to do so. If Tyrone is paroled, I will actively support his transition.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Okay, well, thank you guys for having me today.
Thank you, sir. Wanted to give another opportunity to Michelle Madriano, speaking for item number 49, Robert Lugo. Michelle, I see you in the participant list, and your microphone has been enabled. If you'd like to press *5. You can unmute your microphone. I apologize. Press star 6 to unmute your microphone.
Hello there. Good morning. My name is Michelle. Thank you, board members, for this opportunity. I have known Robert for 6 years and have had the chance to see his strength, growth, love, kindness, and compassion. Although he has faced many difficult challenges in the last couple of years, like being denied parole in 2024, losing his loving grandfather, he has stayed focused, putting into practice the coping skills he has developed because his change is real. The commissioners during both of these hearings have attested to this because, just like us, we can see and hear his change. Robert is a very lucky man who has a loving family who has supported him in every aspect and will continue to do so. And as a result, I have no doubt he will have a successful future due to his support system that he has maintained. As of late, he has achieved his goal that he worked very hard for, and we are very proud of him, which was to become a registered substance abuse counselor, and a goal that has been in the works for a couple of years now. An accomplishment that speaks to his state of mind today, an accomplishment which we would not have been possible without making the right choices, without having coping skills and surrounding himself with pro-social like-minded individuals. An accomplishment that would be impossible if he had not realized how important it is to give back and make amends for all his pain he has caused. I am beyond proud of Robert and know for a fact he will continue being this great man he has molded himself to be. And thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers signed up to speak on today's cases.
Thank you, moderator. Does any board member wish to request an agenda item for a future meeting? Seeing and hearing none. Now we will hear comments from the public regarding general matters related to the board. We are not taking comments on cases right now. You must be on the speaker list to make a comment. You can be added to the speaker list by calling 916-267-0857 and providing your information and the case or item you would like to speak on. Comments concerning future parole hearings are not permitted during this meeting. Please send those comments to the board for inclusion in the materials for that hearing. Comments are limited to 2 minutes and there is no opportunity for rebuttal. Please wait to speak until we call your name or identify you by your login information. Moderator, is there anyone seeking to make a general comment related to the board?
Yes, I have 2 speakers signed up to speak. Both are in person. I have Vanessa Nelson Sloan.
Thank you. We have some possibly new statistics to share with the board today, and those are the figures from the month of March hearings for each commissioner's decisions. As you might remember, we were dismayed when the 2025 grant rate was a dismal 24%, down considerably from previous years. But both January and February of this year, numbers were hopeful as the rates seemed to be returning to around the low 30s range. However, last month, grants were down to an overall average of 23%. More troubling was the grant rate spread between the 21 commissioners. It's basically all over the place from 50% to 6%. A huge disparity with more than one commissioner posting no grants at all in the month of March. So the question seems to be, what's going on? Has the character of the life of population changed? Has the standard for suitability changed? Have the commissioners' outlooks changed? Just what's the new matrix? We're open to other reasons for continuing grant retreat, but we're quite puzzled about this, and we're going to be tracking it for quite some time. I am particularly concerned with the disparity in the commissioners' grant rates. Normally, it's about 12 to 20%. This is huge, and it's very interesting since everyone goes to at least most of the prisons during the system. It's not just because of what prison you go to. Any ideas? I'm open to suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you. The last speaker I have signed up to speak is Lily Pertimore. She's also in person.
Thank you. Territory. Thank you. Good morning, afternoon. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I just have a few comments I wanted to make this morning on the admin review process and some observations I've had, which is that, like Vanessa acknowledged, we are seeing a lot of variation in how deputy commissioners and commissioners are interpreting what change circumstance means. And this leaves both parole candidates and future panels up for confusion and lack of success in the process. We see some deputy commissioners saying, okay, you've taken some programs, you stayed RBR free, that's change in circumstance. Other commissioners we see actually trying to interpret what that programming means in terms of how much someone has internalized the programming and what it means about their new insight based on just the paper record alone. And so this, I think, is a really troubling development. Commissioners, based on a paper review, are not really able to assess how much someone has internalized programming, what it means in terms of their insight, and this, I think, has resulted in it becoming more and more difficult to get through the administrative review process. So if the board's guidance has changed, it would be great to understand that so we can counsel folks better in how to navigate the administrative parole process, the administrative review process, because we are seeing incredible variation that is leading to folks not being set up for success both in that process and their future hearings. So any updated guidance the board has on that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for general comments.
Thank you, moderator. On behalf of my colleagues, I wish to thank everyone for participating today. We will recess the open session of the April Executive Board meeting at this time. We will reconvene in open session tomorrow at 9 a.m.